So where is the slider for the announcements? That's the timber.
It's going to be the overhead announcements, yes, and it's also this right here. I don't have a microphone. I don't know that you left a microphone. Or did he?
Yeah, that should be it. You think? Well, we got it now. We can turn it on and hear those guys talking.
Maybe there's no one down there.
So this one is Mac, this is you, this is for Joey when he comes up, okay? This one, if you turn this dial up, you can hear whatever conversation's happening
Okay.
over here, but it's not going out to me. So it's a 3 mix only, and it's just for you. So if you want to hear what the officials are saying, you can turn that up for a minute.
Okay.
If I leave it up the whole time, you're going to hear all the background. You don't want that.
No.
So that would be that. This one should be this one should be drummer.
Okay.
When those guys get in there. This one's gonna be your voice.
Okay, should we try it? Okay, that's good. Okay, that's 4. Okay. So Mac, Jamie, Joey, interview, and then 5 is.
5 is drummer.
Yep.
Only do it here. Don't
Okay.
do it here, 'cause then I have to hear it.
Okay.
The Flyer Athletic Boosters is a nonprofit organization of parents, faculty, and community members that are dedicated to supporting quality youth athletic programs. Since 2004, FAB has proudly donated more than $500,000 to various youth and varsity programs. Help us to ensure the continued success of Little Falls youth and varsity athletic programs. Become a FAB member today. For more information, go to our website, flyerathleticboosters.com. Go Flyers!
Good afternoon, hockey fans, and welcome to Flyer Media Productions. I'm Max Swenson, joined by Jamie Pettit, and we're bringing you this varsity hockey game between the Little Falls Flyers and the Cambridge-Isanti Blue Jackets.
The Blue Jackets, that's exactly right, Mac.
And welcome to the broadcast, Jamie. Did you get enough to eat at lunch in the warming area?
It was quite a surprise. I walked upstairs and put my bag down, and what a spread that the parents put on for Flyer Media Productions. It was a full picnic table. Absolutely wonderful, and very grateful that the parents would recognize Flyer Media Productions by providing a lunch before this afternoon's game. And they were conveniently located some Ziplocs near the snacks. So I did load up with a few extra things for the broadcast bag. So maybe between the first and second we can have a snack.
That sounds like a pretty good idea to me. And the Blue Jackets ended up getting bumped up a section, so what should we be expecting from them this afternoon?
Well, I think it was unfortunate for Section 5A that Cambridge did move from 5A to 7AA because they were so competitive. Cambridge lost in the section semifinals the last two seasons. Last year, it was here at the Exchange Arena. The two teams had a nail-biter. It was a close game that Little Falls won 3-2. In regulation. There was only one penalty in the entire game, and the senior Hudson Philippi scored the game-winning goal. And Coach Hanowski, when we get to his interview, he will talk about that playoff game. That was one of the questions that you had asked him. Isaac Collis was the winning goaltender. He was 33 of 35. And Jackson Seibel, the losing netminder for the Blue Jackets in that playoff game, he was 27 of 30. And with that semifinal win, the Little Falls Flyers moved on to the Section 5A championship game, which they lost to St. Cloud Cathedral in double overtime. But, yeah, I hated to see Cambridge leave Section 5A because they were right there competitively, and they would have been there again this season.
Both teams have very strong goaltenders, so how do you think that could affect the outcome of this game?
Well, on paper, it should be a low-scoring game. It should be a battle between Collis and Seibel, but you know how that goes. You look at something on paper, you analyze it one way, and the next thing you know, it's a 6-5 game. Now, we had a chance. We bumped into Isaac Collis as we were coming back to the upper area to have a little late lunch before we came up for the broadcast, and I asked him about the game-winning goal that the Detroit Lakers scored on Thursday night to beat Little Falls 3-2 in overtime, and he feels that it was tipped in front, which doesn't surprise me. It was a kind of a lob shot from the right point, and James Hershey, who's he's a healthy scratch this afternoon, so James Hershey, the voice of the Little Falls Flyers, he's a healthy scratch. He's next door watching the dance competition. His youngest daughter is dancing for the last time, so James is over supporting his daughter, so he's not with us this afternoon, but we'll call him a healthy scratch. So as Hershey described on the radio Thursday night, it was a lob shot from the right point. And it's one that Collis normally would have stopped. As it lobbed up in the air, it drops down. It's kind of trickling towards the net, and it beat him low to the blocker's side. So we bumped into Collis, and I asked him, I said, Isaac, what happened on that last goal? And he said, there was a Detroit Lakes player that kind of twirled, did a little spin in front of the net, and I thought when I looked at the replay at home later that night that he was just providing a screen, but Collis felt that he got a piece of it, which explains how the Lakers scored a game-winning goal from that spot with a relatively harmless shot.
And I believe it was Northern Lakes where the Flyers picked up a 5-0 victory.
And as you'll hear in the interview that we did with Coach Hanowski, I said, well, Joey, I said, Tuesday was the good, the 5-0 win over Northern Lakes where Little Falls scored 4 third-period goals. And then I said we had the bad on Thursday with the 3-2 overtime loss to Detroit Lakes. And I said, I hope we don't get the ugly this afternoon. So I think it's a good segue now to hear from the head coach of the Little Falls Flyers, Joey Hanowski. Is he getting it now? Now he can? You got it now? Should I restart it? Should I restart it? Okay. Okay, nice interview as usual with Coach Hanowski. I think we might have missed the first couple questions. You happened to ask the first couple questions, so what was your first question of Coach Hanowski?
I was asking him about what he expected from his guys this afternoon with 2 games remaining in the season.
And if I remember correctly, he made the comment, he wants them playing their best at the end of the season. And for them to play their best at the end of the season, I think they've got to play extremely well this afternoon, if not win this game. And then they've got the tough task of facing the St. Cloud Cathedral Crusaders on Tuesday night, the final regular season game, a team they lost to 7-1 earlier this year, one of the top-ranked teams in Class A. But 2 difficult opponents to end the regular season with Cambridge and St. Cloud Cathedral, and that should be a good final examination for the regular season. Okay, what was the other? I think you asked about the playoff game.
Yeah, correct.
Yep, the playoff game, and we had a little discussion about that earlier. The playoff game between Little Falls and Cambridge in the Section 5A semifinals. In Section 5A, Mac, they play the semifinals at the site of the high seed, not at neutral ice. That's a whole nother discussion. I would prefer to see the 5A semifinals on neutral ice, but Little Falls was the 1 seed, Cambridge was the 4 seed. So Cambridge came to Little Falls for that semifinal game, which Little Falls won 3-2 in regulation, and Hudson Philippi scored the game-winning goal. There was just 1 penalty in the game, and it was assessed to Cambridge. But Collis was the winning goaltender for the Little Falls Flyers, and Jackson Seibel was the losing goaltender for the Cambridge Blue Jackets. And those are the 2 goaltenders that are in the spotlight this afternoon, as Collis will once again start for the Flyers, and Jackson Seibel for the Cambridge Blue Jackets.
I spoke with now defenseman Remington Chisholm a little bit before the game, and he seemed very confident about being a defenseman tonight. Normally he's mostly a wing, but either way he still seemed pretty confident for tonight. So
yeah, we had a chance to look at Chisholm on the defensive end on Thursday night in Detroit Lakes, and yeah, a little bit of a switch. Coach Hanowski wants to take a look at some different combinations, see what they might do come playoff time. He's not afraid to experiment. James Hershey labeled him the mad scientist with the line combinations that we've seen recently, as he's trying to move guys over here, move guys over there, and try to shuffle the disabled list at the same time. So at this point, let's take a look at the starting goaltenders. The Cambridge-Isanti Blue Jackets are 10-13. They're from Section 7 AA. They have actually on a pretty decent streak here. They've won 3 of their last 5 games. On Thursday night, it was a 4-1 loss to Monticello. The starting goaltender is Jackson Seibel. This season, Jackson Seibel has played 927 minutes, a 3.5 goals against average, and a save percentage at 89.3%. He does have a shutout. If you look at Seibel's career, he has played significant minutes as a freshman. If you total up his freshman season, sophomore season, and junior season, he has played 3,073 minutes, and he's just a junior. So Jackson Seibel, he wears number 35. He's got some purple pads on, and he'll start for the Cambridge-Isanti Blue Jackets. For the Little Falls Flyers, it's a familiar number, Isaac Collis. He wears number 30. He's 13-8 this year. He's played 1,062 minutes, 2.6 goals against average, 92.3% save percentage, and Collis has 3 shutouts. One of those shutouts was on Tuesday night in the 5-0 win against Northern Lakes. Collis has won 26 games in his career. He's just a sophomore, and he has 4 career shutouts. And if you look at his career save percentage, it's outstanding at 92.2%.
Wow.
Little Falls is 15-8 this year. The Cambridge-Isanti Blue Jackets are 10-13. Should be a good matinee from the Exchange Arena on Flyer Media Productions.
And Coach Hanowski, during the interview, ended up speaking about how they had a very good practice yesterday. Do you think that will have any effect on today's game?
He sure hopes so. Okay, National Anthem timeout.
looks like that we're just about ready to get started off here at center ice. And Jamie, do you want to go over the starting lineup?
I think we'll go to our segment, our face-off segment.
Oh, right.
Yep, our little history segment. Mark puts together a graphic for me. And we're going to take a look at Flyers' all-time goaltending minutes played. It's been a trend this week. On Tuesday night, we talked about the all-time goaltending saves, which Michael Stump leads the way, 2,238. Thursday night, James Hershey and I talked about all-time shutouts. That was Michael Spurl with 17. So this afternoon, here's a look at the 5 goaltenders that have played the most minutes in Little Falls Flyer history. Michael Stump is at the top of the list, over 4,800 minutes. Michael Spurl second, Justin Pikula, Dane Kucher, and Aaron Jorgensen. Spurl's second on the list. He was a senior in 2008-2009. We're going to hear all about that 2008-2009 team in the first intermission and the second intermission.
And now it looks like we're about ready to get started off at center ice. It's Luke Avery and Seth Terrell. Avery takes the first face-off win, and Schmigdahl tries to get it over on the left side. Terrell takes the puck away, gets a shot on the right side, and Collis makes a quick save. And a quick start, just 8 seconds through. And
the line chart for the Little Falls Flyers, Luke Avery centers Joey Walensky and Garrett Lindberg. Carter Othout's the second line center, Lucas Gendro on the left, Ryan Othout on the right. Third line will feature Derek Young, Mason Othout, Bo Majurley, and Michael Nessler. So 4 forwards on that third line. 5 defensemen for the Flyers, Aaron Murad, Kyler Schmidgall, Remy Chisholm, Carter Wilmus, and Alex Toma. Nice, clean disabled list. Nobody on the disabled list other than James Hershey's a healthy scratch in the broadcast booth, and Isaac Collis is the sophomore starting goaltender.
As this one's deflected but goes wide left, and now this one's going to be moved back in and around the net. And it looked like Murad was there, but he backs up, and Luke Avery takes control of the puck on the right side. Walensky tries to bump it up, but Terrell takes over to Sean Brown. Tries to put a shot on and through, but it's not going to go. Terrell keeps the puck in. This one bumps off the boards on the left side. And now moving quickly, it's Luke Avery along the right side. Avery takes a huge hit from Seth Splitstozer. And this one goes off the boards behind the net. Now moving behind and falls down a little bit. That's Wyatt Garvey. Garvey now with the puck once again. Tries to get across. Intercepted by Carter Oldout. Oldout out in front. And it looked like it went in. There's no call. Still under the goal. It's finally out. Ryan Oldout tries to get a shot off, and now it's Carter Oldout moving in at center. Oldout gets it back out to the point. Carter Wilmus will dump it in, but it's gloved.
He's got to drop it. There's nobody there. I'm surprised they blew the play dead. There wasn't a Flyer in the vicinity. I knew he wanted a whistle. Did the goaltender Seibel. We're going to have a really good look at this scramble in front of the Blue Jacket net, as it looked like the Flyers were going to get their first of the afternoon. Seibel was there along with a couple Blue Jacket defenders to keep it out of that Blue Jacket net. But that line of Othout, and Gendro, they had chances to get the icebreaker, but it didn't come true.
Now it looks like it's Ryan Othout in the corner, now moving behind the net, looking to get a pass out to the point. Now keeps it himself, trying to wrap around, but he can't. And now moving up the left side is Josh Sorrow, who dumps it in. Remington Chisholm is there. Gets a pass around the boards, and it looks like Jared Foster is there, but this one's nearly taken away by Carter Oldout. Kept in now by Sorrow. Sorrow looking for a centering pass. He'll stay behind the net. Still with the puck is Sorrow. At center now, gets one on the left side. Tries to center now, it's not there. That would have been a great chance for Zebarth. And this one's going to end up traveling all the way down. And there's the whistle for icing.
14:45 to go, scoreless first period. Thursday night, Little Falls loses to Detroit Lakes 3-2 in overtime. It was scoreless after 1. DL had a 2-0 lead after 2. 2 third-period goals from Joey Walensky forced overtime, but it was Jace Fields with the game winner, 2:47 into the extra session. Walensky led the way with 2 goals. Luke Avery added 2 assists.
And now on the right side, it's Walensky who gets one off the boards, and Lindberg almost took control of the puck for what could have been a breakaway, but it ends up being icing once more.
They tried to spring Lindberg down the right wing boards, but he couldn't catch up to the puck before it crossed the goal line extended to the left of Jackson Seibel in the Cambridge Blue Jacket net.
And here's the face-off. It's Luke Avery who takes one right off of the arm on a slap shot, and that one's covered once again very quickly.
Had a lot of whistles here in the first 2 minutes and 27 seconds of the first period. The Blue Jackets have the 4-3 shots on goal advantage.
Seth Terrell on the face-off once more. Sean Brown looking to tap one through. A backhand chance, and that was a loose puck out in front. But there's no icebreaker quite yet. And now a scramble for the puck. It looked like Splitstozer got that one back in. Terrell now trying to get a pass away. Ends up on the stick of Schmigdahl. Who gets it down the ice, and this one will be picked up by Wyatt Garvey. And that one's going to go all the way down. That was Caleb Wyson. And that will be covered by Isaac Collis once more. A lot of whistles.
Yeah, a lot of whistles. Slow start here on a Saturday afternoon from the Exchange Arena. Coach Hanowski in his pregame comments specifically mentioned number 11 for the Cambridge-Isanti Blue Jackets, Seth Terrell. 27 goals, 20 assists, 47 points. He centers that first line for the Blue Jackets. Sean Brown is on the left wing. Caleb Wyson on the right wing.
Now the puck on the right side, looking to get around the net. It's Wadachuk, I apologize. Now it's Chisholm with the puck. Chisholm moving left side, tries to move center, it's not there. With the puck now, it looks like Mason Othout tries to lob one up for Bo Majorly, but it's not there. Here's Alex Toma, dumps it in, and Cybel will cover.
Well, no surprise, Mac, another whistle. We should have a little clicker here in the press box. We could have kept track of the whistles here in the first period. We've got a local referee this afternoon. There's rink manager Wesley Wojtaszek. He's one of our referees. Wesley will be featured between the first and second period and the second and third period as we hear from the 2008-2009 team that took third place at the Class A state championship.
Ryan Othout on the face-off. He'll win it, and Carter Othout with the puck now. Tries to send one through, but it's not there. And Chisholm looks to get one across. Racing for the puck now. It's Alex Toma. Toma moves it through. And this one's across for Chisholm. Tip puck. And it looked like from our angle that could have gone the back of the net, but it ended up going wide left. And I believe that's Carter Othout with it in the corner. Here's Ryan Othout looking for a chance. Tries to leave one. Cybel poke checks that one away. And now Tempesta is looking to try and move this one up. A loose puck now. And Wadachuk almost took control. But here comes Carter Othout moving through on the left side. Looking for a shot. Now he's behind the net, still with the puck. No one's there on a line change. Walensky poke checks that one. It ends up in the air. Jared Foster. Now it's Walensky. Walensky back out to the point. Othout wasn't there. Carter Othout moving in on the left side. And he'll dump this one through. Walensky can't get there quick enough. And here's Wyatt Garvey. Garvey moves this one to Splitstozer. Back to Garvey. Trying to leave it for Drew Johnson. It's not there. Garvey now gets it across to Zebarth, Jackson Zebarth. Now Murad tries to move one through for Lindbergh. It's not there. Chisholm can't keep that one down. Murad gets this one to Walensky. Poke checked away now. Drew Johnson trying to get a pass away. Now a loose puck. Avery takes control. Luke Avery gets this one to Walensky. Off the boards, back for Avery. Trying to bounce this one over Splitstozer, but it's not there, and we get another whistle.
Yep, offsides were the Flyers at the Blue Jacket blue line. Staying on the Seth Terrell theme, where's number 11 for the Blue Jackets? He's got 7 goals in his last 5 games. The Blue Jackets have won 3 of their last 5 games. They're 10-13 overall, and if you look at 7 AA right now, which is where the Cambridge-Isanti Blue Jackets reside, they're probably going to be a 7, 8, or 9 seed. Andover looks to be the top team right now in 7AA. Grand Rapids, the Halloween Machine Mac, not far behind.
And now with it in the corner. I actually haven't heard that nickname before yet.
That's a nickname. It's a nickname from the 70s.
I'll keep that one in mind.
If you ever bump into John Majorly, ask him about the Halloween Machine. He played for the Halloween Machine. Bo Majorly's dad, John, played for the Grand Rapids Indians at the time. Now it's the Thunderhawks.
I definitely will. Thank you for the tip. And now moving through, it's Seth Terrell. Tries to get a wrist shot on. It's wide right. Picks up his own loose puck now. Tries to center on what would have been an incredible play. An unbelievable pass from Terrell. Jared Foster picks it up in his own zone. Foster moving through the middle. enters in through the neutral zone, across the red line, into the Flyer zone. Foster looking for a centering pass, off the post on the pass, and Terrell gets this one around the net, but it's picked up by Carter Othout. Othout moves through the left side, takes a huge hit from Terrell, and that will leave a bruise.
And you can tell Terrell's fired up after just pasting Carter Othout with an open ice check.
And now in the corner, it looks like it's Kyler Schmigdahl trying to take it away. This one moves on the right side. Now Schmigdahl has the puck, and he'll get this one all the way down for another icing with 10:28 remaining.
Yep, it's kind of a slow start. Teams seem like they're at times skating through wet cement. 5-5 shots are even here in period one. It's an offensive zone faceoff for the Blue Jackets. Their second line centered by Drew Johnson. Jackson Zebarth should be on the left and Josh Sorrow on the right. Jackson Zebarth is the son of head coach Jared Zebarth.
And now on the right side, it looked like Garvey wanted to get it through, but it ends up on the stick of Remington Chisholm. Back out at the point, it's Garvey. Loose puck now. This one's poke-checked into the air. And now moving in, it's Derek Young, but it's taken back by Drew Johnson. Majorly trying to get the puck away. Now a loose puck in the Blue Jacket zone. It's Splitstozer who gets it across to Garvey, off the back of Jackson Zebarth. And now in the neutral zone, it looks like it's Mason Othout who's racing after the puck, but Drew Johnson's too quick. And here's Garvey, gets it across for Splitstozer.
Offsides, way offsides was Josh Sorrow. So one more whistle here in the first period. Still scoreless. Little Falls will conclude the regular season on Tuesday night here at the Exchange Arena as they will host the St. Cloud Cathedral Crusaders. The St. Cloud Cathedral Crusaders, one of the top three teams right now in Class A. Warroad coming into the week was number one. They got beat by East Grand Forks on Tuesday, which means they may have lost the number one seed in Section 8A. If East Grand Forks beats Thief River Falls on Tuesday night, I think the Green Wave become the number one seed in 8A.
As Avery fires a shot that ends up going wide left. Now back with it in the neutral zone. Taken away by Terrell on a breakaway. Terrell, glove save by Collis!
Well, Terrell was going 100 miles an hour down the right wing boards, was able to free the puck, got in alone, took the shot, and the nicest save, the best save of the period for Isaac Collis. But you could see the speed, the display from Seth Terrell as he just motored around the Flyer defenseman.
I mean, there was no stopping him on that
Absolutely
play.
not.
Now back around, it's Ryan Othout who lobs one up, but it's taken down by Seth Terrell. Othout manages to get it back, trying to poke check the puck away. Tempesta defends well. Out on the left side, Othout trying to pick up the puck. Now it's Carter Othout, and it looked like it was poke checked away by Gendro. Now through into the Flyer zone, Schmigdahl's there. Tries to move through on the right side. He's smacked down, tries to poke check this one forward, but he couldn't quite. And now Carter Othout gets this one across to Lucas Gendro. Off the boards, trying to skate in. Tempesta is there. Now he'll leave it for Jared Foster. Foster tries to get this one forward, but it's going to end up just going all the way down. No icing, though, because it was interfered with by a Flyer defenseman. I believe it was Remy Chisholm. Lindbergh trying to dump this one through. Garvey takes control. Back in the neutral zone now. Chisholm will go across to Toma. Now to Lindbergh, who dumps this one in. A huge hit on the boards there. Now it's Garvey with the puck. Garvey moving this one forward to Boostrom. Now skating ahead quickly. A lobbed up puck. Here's Wyatt Garvey once more. Ooh, ends up falling on the ice, and it looks like he might be down. It looks like he's trying to find his feet. And now Splitstozer trying to move one through. Huge hit from Luke Avery. This one's knocked down. Boostrom trying to take control, and I believe that was offsides.
Yep, offsides at the Little Falls Flyer blue line. Down was Wyatt Garvey, the junior defenseman for the Cambridge-Isanti Blue Jackets. He was slow to get back to the Blue Jacket bench. They are attending to him right now. According to the line chart, he's on the first defensive pair, so we'll keep an eye on him to see if he can return. Speaking of returning, Lucas Gendro returns to the lineup for the Little Falls Flyers this afternoon. He was on the disabled list Thursday, and he's up with Carter Othout and Ryan Othout on that second line this afternoon.
And this one's left out on the right side. Now into the corner, a scramble for the puck, and Lindbergh ends up knocking a man down. Now with it behind the net, Lindbergh poke checks this one away, but Jared Foster's there. Gets a pass away now. This one's going to head in on the left side. It's Drew Johnson. Johnson leaves. A shot that goes high. That was Colton Alcock. Now at the point, this one's poke checked on the shot, and it goes way out. That was Jared Foster at the point.
Deflection in front of Collis in the Little Falls Flyer net, and it ends up in the safety netting high above Isaac Collis. But, talking about the disabled list, we spoke to Coach Hanowski about, a clean disabled list this afternoon. The last thing you want as a head coach is to have the disabled list fill up at the end of the regular season and into the playoffs. The Flyers have been, for the most part, fortunate this year. No serious injuries.
And a shot and a huge chance out in front for Sean Brown, but it's going to end up being a pad save. Tempesta tries to fire one on from the point, but it's gloved by Collis once more.
Yeah, Collis makes his 8th save of the period. A pretty good offensive attack there for the Blue Jackets. No surprise with Seth Terrell centering that first line. He's dangerous, and that's exactly why Coach Hanowski put him in the spotlight in his pregame comments. And not long ago, Mac, we had a chance to see that speed down the right wing boards.
And let me tell you, it was quick, as it looks like a loose puck that Terrell tries to take advantage on. What a save by Isaac Collis! The chance of his life. Sean Brown can't put it through.
Yeah, first Seth Terrell was able to free himself, got the first shot off. The rebound came out, and then it was Sean Brown there, and Collis made the save before the net came off. But two really good chances for the Blue Jackets denied.
Comes off of Seth Terrell and Sean Brown, both chances so far this afternoon. And now Schmigdahl trying to take it away, but this one's at the point. Splitstozer with the puck. Deflection on! Loose puck! It's not there! And now it's loose once more. Gendro trying to take control, but he's hit along the boards. And this one's deflected on the pass by Splitstozer, and it heads out for another whistle.
And Garvey's back in the lineup for the Blue Jackets. Wyatt Garvey was shaken up earlier in the period, resumes his defensive end position. And one more whistle here in the first period. Face-off will be just outside the Blue Jacket blue line. And for the Little Falls Flyers, their third line, Derek Young, Bantam-eligible freshman Mason Othout, and Michael Nessler.
Speaking of Michael Nessler, it looked like he was trying to break through, but he couldn't quite as it was poke-checked away. Splitstozer gets this one ahead to Colton Alcock, tries to dump it in. Derek Young takes control. Young moves left side, gets a pass away to Mason Othout. Now it's taken back. Looks like that's Drew Johnson. Tries to dump it in. Derek Young is there, taking control now. Now it's a scramble for the puck. Chisholm's trying to poke check it through. He does. Now gets this one forward to Mason Othout. Othout tries to get a pass off on the right side, but it ends up hitting the skate of Michael Nessler. Chisholm's there on the left side. Gets a shot on deflection. It ends up going wide left and behind the net. Nessler tries to get one out to Chisholm. He can't. Now moving quickly. Here comes Splitstozer. Gets one across. Here comes a chance out in front. It's Josh Soro. Looked like he wanted to get one out to the point. Now this one's lobbed up. And Nolan Swenson is there. Gets this one across for Jared Foster. Poke check. Here's Walensky. Walensky tries to deke. Now moving behind the net. And he centered the pass. But Avery couldn't connect. And Schmigdahl is not there at the point. It looked like that Aaron Murad wanted to get it across. Lindbergh chasing. This one ends up on the stick of what looks like Josh Soro. And there's a broken stick. That is Soro's.
Stick blows up in Soro's hands.
Unbelievable. And here's Avery who gets one across. It's Lindbergh, fires a speedy shot on net. It's not going to go. Avery with the puck. Out to the point now. Murad wanted to keep it. He couldn't. Now moving through the center, it's Sean Brown. Brown takes a huge hit by Luke Avery. Schmigdahl gets this one around. Foster trying to poke check it away. He can't. Here comes Garrett Lindberg. Lindberg leaves it. Avery fires, not going to go.
What a play by Lindberg. Good shot from Avery. Blocker save made by Seibel.
And this one's back in the corner and behind the net. Ryan Oath out chasing. He can't get there quite quick enough. And now here comes a pass up to Terrell. Terrell moving through the left side. Dumps it through. And now here's Murad, who gets one across to Ryan Oath out. Oath out moving through and in on the right side. Oath out dekes. Looking for a backhand attempt. It's not there. Now moving in on the left side, it's Wyatt Garvey. Garvey trying to deke. Oh, Garvey with the chance! Oh my goodness! I can't believe how that play just developed.
How did he get through those two Flyer defenders onto the net, and Collis made the save? He bailed out his defenseman as they failed to stop Garvey.
You're not kidding. Isaac Collis made an absolutely great save once again. And here's Carter Othau moving in on the right side, moving quickly, gets ahead. Othau fires! It's not going to go! And it looks like that Chisholm's trying to find a centering pass, but we get a whistle.
The net's way off behind Jackson Seibel as he made a huge save on Carter Othau. Carter Othau came motoring down the right wing boards, cut to the net, and Seibel made a right pad save on Carter Othau. Carter Othau has 16 goals, 16 assists, 32 points. He's second in team scoring for the Little Falls Flyers. Leading the way, Luke Avery, 15 goals, 21 assists, 36 points. Avery has 10 points in his last 4 games. He's been spectacular.
Let's hope he continues it this afternoon as moving behind the nets, Jay Zebarth, I apologize. Now moving in on the left side, it's Drew Johnson. Johnson looking for a centering pass. Instead, he'll dump it around the net. And here's Remy Chisholm. Chisholm tries to move it forward for Mason Oathtout, but on a weak pass. Foster trying to poke check it away from Derek Young. Young tries to center. It's not there. At the point now, Wilmus tries to take the one-timer, but it's wide right. With the puck now, it was Sorrow who dumped it behind the net. This one is left for Zebarth. This one's Johnson now. Johnson couldn't keep control of the puck. Now it's Alcock. Loose puck now, taken away. Chisholm, chance, not gonna go.
Net's way off.
I could see that movement.
Seibel has knocked the net off. We had that issue on Tuesday night. Nigel DeSanto, the goaltender for the Northern Lakes Lightning, knocked the net off countless times. Countless times it was off behind DeSanto. We've had the net off a number of times here in the first period behind Jackson Seibel.
2:23 remaining in period 1 of action, and we're going to get an offensive zone face-off for the Little Falls Flyers. And it looks like it will be Luke Avery on a big face-off against Seth Terrell. And here's the puck drop. It's going to be a win for the Blue Jackets, as here comes Garvey. Garvey wanted Brown. It's not there. Loose puck picked up now by, looks like, Aaron Murad, who dumps it in and behind the net. And Splitstozer gets this one around. Brown's trying to break free from the scuffle. And now trying to get a pass through on the left side. Schmigdahl picks up the loose puck. Now trying to move in, it's Lindberg. Avery finds the puck and offsides.
Yep, they were offsides. Lindberg was kind of tangled up there at the blue line. Avery brought the puck in, but the Little Falls Flyers were offsides. I brought up this fact on Thursday night in our broadcast from Detroit Lakes. I told James Hershey that if you look at the past 2 seasons plus this year, Carter Othtout, Luke Avery, and Joey Walensky have played every single game. They have played every single game over the past 3 seasons.
Wow.
They haven't missed a game, those 3.
That is actually, that's remarkable.
78 consecutive games for those 3.
Wow.
So Coach Hanowski started, this is his 3rd season, and ever since Coach Hanowski started, the Flyers have had Carter Othtout, Luke Avery, and Joey Walensky in the lineup. We've got a penalty to the Blue Jackets. Interference call to Terrell at 15:17 of the first period. That'll put Little Falls on the power play for the first time this afternoon. 15 for 68, 22.1%. Little Falls has scored 3 power play goals in their last 2 games.
I don't know if you saw that, Jamie, but Luke Avery on the one-timer absolutely destroyed the shin of Jacob Boostrom, and he was shaken up.
Well, it's good news for Little Falls. They're on the power play, plus Seth Terrell's in the penalty box.
I was about to mention that. That's very true. And here's Carter Oakdown, who almost had a chance out in front. Ended up going wide right. Avery leaves it for Chisholm. Chisholm with the puck. Looking for a shot. Fires glove. Saved by Seibel.
Well, Seibel's had a good period for the Blue Jackets. Collis has had a good period for the Little Falls Flyers. Replay here on Flyer Media Productions as Chisholm peels away from the sideboards. Lost the puck momentarily. Got it back. About the top of the hash marks there. Took a shot, and Seibel made the save. This is the top power play unit for the Little Falls Flyers. The two oath-outs, Remy Chisholm, along with Luke Avery and Joey Walensky.
And another offensive zone faceoff for Little Falls. And it looks like Joey Walensky. This one's at the point. Here's Avery. Avery tries to move it up ahead. It's not there. Now dumping it back for Avery. Across. Here's Carter Oathout. Back to Avery. Avery across. Here's Chisholm. Chisholm tries to move center. Finds a pass now. Out in front. A chance on the backhand. It's not there. And Seibel covers. Wow.
Big scramble in front. The puck was loose, but Seibel didn't leave it loose for very long and was able to cover up. As you see Ryan Oathout kind of sneaking in. Poking at the puck was Joey Walensky. Also there, Luke Avery. But Seibel, he's just a junior. He's played over 3,000 minutes in his career. No opportunity at all for Little Falls on another attempt because he put his glove right on top of it.
And Carter Oathout on the one-timer. That one goes wide left. And I try to say wide meaningly because that was pretty wide left.
Yeah, he missed it by a lot.
And here's Avery with the puck now. Back to Ryan Oathout. Oathout with the puck. It's poke checked away. And Wisen almost had a breakaway. It looked like that Carter Oathout wanted the puck and the net's off. Seibel moves it back. This one's going to be knocked all the way down with 24 seconds remaining. This penalty will go into the second period. That is, if there are no more penalties in this last 15 seconds. Can the Flyers get one more chance off? Carter Oathout moving in. Oathout wants a shot, moves behind, looking for a center pass, finds it, scores! Joey Walensky on the power play!
Time of the goal, 16:53 of the first period as the Little Falls Flyers get a power play marker. Carter Oathout takes it back behind the net. Lurking in front is Joey Walensky. He makes the deposit into the Blue Jacket net for the icebreaker at 16:53 of the first period. Joey Walensky's 16th goal of the season gives the Little Falls Flyers a 1-0 lead. Walensky had 2 against Detroit Lakes. He gets the first this afternoon.
And I don't know if you saw this, Jamie, but almost instantly Joey pointed at Carter Oathout because of that pass.
And here's one more look at it on Flyer Media Productions as Carter Oathout hangs onto the puck, goes back behind the net, and Walensky stationed in front. They couldn't get to him in time, and Joey Walensky with a quick shot beats Seibel. It was a period that Little Falls tried to beat Jackson Seibel. They finally did with 7 seconds remaining in the period. You had just said, that power play might go into the second period, but not the case. Carter Oathout says, we're going to finish it off now with a nice assist on the Walensky goal. For Joey Walensky, he's now scored a goal in 7 of his last 8 games. That power play unit, we have seen it, I believe, most of the season, if not the entire season, with the 2 Oathouts, Joey Walensky, Luke Avery, and Remy Chisholm. Obviously, they've practiced together. They've had numerous power play opportunities throughout this 24-game regular season, and it was Carter Oathout, the senior, one of the captains, with the beautiful assists. And Walensky, you get him in prime scoring position, he knows exactly what to do.
And I just got to mention one more time on that power play, it was Seth Terrell who ended up going out, and I believe myself that had some kind of effect on Little Falls power play.
Well, anytime that you can get the top scorer from the opposing team in the penalty box and get the man advantage, it's going to work in your favor. A 1-0 lead for the Little Falls Flyers after 1 period of play. Saturday afternoon game from the Exchange Arena. Now we've got a treat upcoming. We're going to hear from the 2008-2009 state tournament team. They took third place in the Class A state tournament. That season, Ben Hanowski passed Johnny Pohl to become the state's all-time leading scorer, and the first segment is going to focus on the night Hanowski passed Pohl.
So we're going to take a quick break on Flyer Media Productions and check out that segment.
Let's move ahead to that night that Ben remembers, and you guys were all there too, on February 19th, 2009, the game that Ben Hanowski became the all-time scorer in the state of Minnesota.
Hanowski tries to slide it over to Watashik. Puck nearly picked up by Hanowski. He's got it now. Turnaround shot. He scores! Ben Hanowski picked it out of a pile, turned around, beat the goaltender on the left side, over the shoulder in the net, and Ben is the all-time goal scorer and point scorer in the state of Minnesota.
And obviously passing Johnny Pohl, and to this day still has that record. Ben, I know you and I are going to get a chance to talk about this in a little bit, but let's talk with your teammates in that and talk about that night and talk about the experience of being part of that. And I want to go around the room. So let's start with you, Riley. What do you remember of that night and in that experience?
I think I remember all 14 of us seniors scored that night too, if I remember right.
In the scoring column, you had 9 goals. It was a 9-1 win.
I mean, like, we all had a point in that. But I just remember that it was so packed that there was people like standing next to us on the bench pretty much. And everyone was there. I mean, some alumni were trying to get in. I mean, it was sold out. I mean, I think our JV team lost to Apollo pretty handedly a few weeks before, and then it was packed in our barn and ended up beating Apollo that night. And I think I don't know if it was for Ben, but it seemed like a big sigh of relief once it was done with for him. I mean, he scored the goal and everyone was just jumped into our bench instead of, doing a sell. It was one of the coolest moments of my life that I've got to experience with all my best friends.
How about you, Nelly? What were your thoughts of that night?
Oh, I mean, that was the coolest atmosphere that I've ever seen in the Exchange Arena. Kind of like Riley said, how people were 5-6 people deep, and then Camp Ripley brought a bunch of soldiers out that were here from like Finland or something like that. They wanted to make sure they watched the game. But it was just it was like one of those moments where everything that we had all kind of worked for, Ben was obviously the best player of all of us and scored a lot of points on it, but it was almost one of those points in the season to where we knew we were a good team. And once Ben got that record off his back, we could look past it. And now we could kind of start focusing to our end goal. But I think one of the coolest parts of that night was when he broke the record. Now looking back at it as parents, where he went over and thanked his parents over the glass. I thought that was pretty cool.
How about you, Wesley? What do you remember that night?
Well, I would probably say that's the first time I think I've ever seen Ben nervous. Like, I remember I sat next to him in the locker room and remember looking at him, and he's just kind of looking at the floor, and I'm like, "You're gonna do this? Like, come on, like, it's gonna happen. Like, I'm not nervous for you. I know you're gonna do it. Like, it's gonna happen. We're gonna beat Apollo. This is like I said, we expected to win every night. So, and I knew Ben was good enough to do it. So, that was the first time I think I've ever saw him nervous. But once that puck dropped, like, you had no idea. And like Nelly talked about, those soldiers were Norwegian soldiers. And I remember, like, the first couple goals we scored, like, you're going through the bench side, giving your teammate knucks, and they're reaching over the glass, and it was like you're giving knucks all the way to the corner to those guys. And then, but yeah, the atmosphere was unbelievable. I remember warming up with the guys, like our dry land stuff, and like looking around going, holy cow, there's so many people here. Like, I can't even remember if we were able to warm up in that corner we normally warm up in, because like Ben said, there was 5, 6, 7, 8 people deep in the corners, and on the other end, like the mezzanine side, people are all the way back up to the wall. And Coral told me a story handful of years ago that like once Ben scored that goal, like him and the fire marshal were in there kicking people out. Like, all right, you got to go. See you later. Like, so it's kind of a cool thing that we had that many people in our small arena to showcase, one of the greatest hockey players in the state of Minnesota ever.
How about you, Joe Rydeen? What do you remember that night?
Yeah, I agree with what everybody said. And just one thing to add, I think we're all pretty proud. Ben was one of us, and to see him do it, we all kind of felt like we were part of that too. So it was really cool, and like maybe Riley said, when Ben came and jumped over, into the bench, and everything, I remember that really vividly. So no, it was all kind of, felt like a movie a little bit too, just like the people and everything. So no, yeah, it was a great night.
And how about you, Joey? Obviously, being the younger brother and seeing your brother accomplish something that nobody ever has done before.
Yeah, I think at the time I was that young, dumb, naive little brother that probably didn't know what the heck was going on a lot of the time. But looking back on it, just that whole season with these guys and my brother, just Ben never talked about it at home. At least, well, he didn't really talk to me a whole lot at home my freshman year. But just watching him, how he carried himself that night and our whole group, and kind of like what Wesley said, is it was the whole group. And I think everyone felt that sense of relief for Ben and the group that we could focus on focus on playoffs going forward. And yeah, it was a special moment for our entire family. And I would say all these guys, I look at all these guys like big brothers to me, and it was a great night for Flyer hockey. And I don't think that atmosphere will ever be matched. We've had some good section playoff games last couple of years with atmospheres in Little Falls Rink, but nothing comes close to that night.
And of course, you've been the man that did the scoring and all that. I guess talk about that night. I mean, I'm sure you remember it, but maybe some of it's a blur.
Yeah, I was nervous. It was it was kind of out there for a while leading up to that night, and then I actually don't think I had any points in that first period. So I think when we came in for that intermission, I'm sure Wes was really thinking I was nervous then because that crowd was huge, and so that was definitely nervous. And when it happened, it was really special. And afterwards, I was really relieved that it was over because it was kind of chaotic those couple weeks leading up to it. And I came back because it was the group of guys that we had, and it was nice to just kind of almost get it out of the way, and we could really focus on what the true goal was, and it was us making it to another state tournament and competing for a state championship. And so it was really a special night and really cool for our program. But at the end of that night, I was really just relieved that it was finally kind of over and past us.
And head coach Tony Kuchar, we're talking about the night that Ben broke the record. Talk about what you saw, what you were feeling. What was your, I guess, take of that whole night?
Well, I think it started not just that night, but it started the night before, all through the night, all through the day. I was getting phone calls from people from Wilmer, from all over the place, asking me what time the game was. Can they get into the game? And I asked them, what, you're from where? And they said Wilmer. And I said, and they said, we don't even watch too much hockey, but we heard about this, so we're going to come watch it. And it was all night. I mean, till 10, 11 o'clock. I don't know where people got my cell number, but probably off the high school league or whatever. But it led up to that point where people were just calling constantly, friends, people that I didn't know wanting to get me, can you get me tickets? And I said, well, it's kind of first come, first serve. And, obviously we were letting people in the back door, Mike Coral. I believe he even had some people from Camp Ripley. I think they were maybe Norway people or something like that, but they lined up to the left of our bench. And but the JV had an unbelievable time there. It was a packed house for the JV team. It was leading up to it. It was just kind of chaotic. We had to get I think the Flying Warriors room. I don't know if that was the Flying Warriors room at the time, I think, but we had to get a press thing, and all the press was calling, and is he going to do it tonight, and blah, blah, blah. So, but it was really kind of special. I got a plaque made up in advance So it was a very memorable time.
And welcome back, everyone, to Flyer Media Productions. If you've been paying attention, that was the segment of the 2008-2009 season, Ben Hanowski's record-breaking goal.
Yep, Ben broke the record on February 19th, 2009 here at the Exchange Arena against St. Cloud Apollo with a second period goal. He came into the night at 377 career points. Johnny Pohl from Red Wing was at 378, so Ben needed 1 to tie, 2 to break. He tied Pohl at 4:53 of the second period with a shorthanded goal for his 378th career point, and it was his 28th. Oh, here, Mark's got this is exactly what I sent Mark, and this is what I am glad that he was able to put up on the screen for us during this intermission. So this was my score sheet from that game. And you can see some of the notes where Hanowski comes into the night at 178 goals, 199 assists for 377 points. Johnny Pohl was at 378. So at 4:53 of the second period, Hanowski scores shorthanded for his 378th point, his 28th career shorthanded goal. And then he breaks the record at 9:07 of the second period for his 180th career goal, 199 assists, and 379 points. What most won't remember is Ben gets his 200th career assist later in the period at 14:26 as Riley Hirsch scored. Ben received the first assist on that goal, and Jordan Gushik with the second assist. So not only did Hanowski break Pohl's record that night, he collected his 200th career assist as Little Falls beat St. Cloud Apollo 9-1. You can see what the Flyers line chart looked like that night. I think the bottom right-hand corner was the power play units for the Little Falls Flyers. Coach Kuchar always let me know in advance who was going to be on the power play unit. You can see who St. Cloud Apollo had playing for them at the time, and the Flyers had the 52-21 shots on goal advantage. A magical night here at the Exchange Arena.
And Jamie, you were here at the Exchange Arena the night of the record-breaking goal.
Oh, so there's a story behind that. I had Brad Shellstead with me. Brad Shellstead won a state championship with Minneapolis Southwest in 1970. He won a national championship with the Gophers in 1974, and he was my high school hockey coach in Wadena, plus my broadcast partner. So I had Brad Shellstead with me and former Wadena Deer Creek Wolverine Tyler New. We went to Cabin Fever for dinner. And then as we're making our way to the rink, we're at the stoplight to make the left-hand turn, and the cars were parked all the way out to the stoplight. I knew we were in trouble. We had to park quite a ways away, practically had to take a taxi. I wasn't worried about getting in. I already made arrangements for that. But once we got in the building, we were stuck. There was nowhere to go. There was nowhere to stand. I thought, how are we going to see it when Hanowski breaks the record? But Will from the ballroom came through. The perch in the east end of the rink where the camera's at right now had a garbage can. And Will comes from nowhere. He must have recognized me and possibly Shellstead and said, I'm going to move this garbage can for you guys. And the three of us stood right on that perch and watched Hanowski break the record in the east end of the rink.
That is pretty cool. And Jamie, I got one more question for you. What was the press conference like following the game?
Yeah, that was fun. We knew in advance that if Hanowski broke the record, that there'd be a little makeshift press conference in one of the spare locker rooms. And if I remember correctly, Ben was at the middle. Ben Hanowski was at the middle of the table. And to his left was Riley Hirsch, and to his right was Ben Nelson. And Riley Hirsch had the deer in the headlights type look as the questions were coming to Ben Hanowski. And I think, maybe Hirsch and Ben Nelson answered questions. I quite certain it was those two, along with Ben Hanowski. Coach Kuchar was in the room, and then a few other media members. But that was a lot of fun after Ben broke Johnny Pohl's record.
Let's get back to the game at hand. Could you give us a quick recap of the first period?
Little Falls is 15-8 this year. Cambridge-Isanti, the Blue Jackets, they're 10-13. Only goal of the first period at 16:53 on the power play. 16th goal of the season for Joey Walensky. Single assist on the Walensky power play goal from Carter Othout. Here's Carter Othow taking it back behind the net. Slides a quick pass to Joey Walensky, and Joey Walensky is able to beat Cybele for the icebreaker at 16:53 to give Little Falls a 1-0 lead. Shots on goal in period 1, 12 for Little Falls, 12 for Cambridge. Collis, 12 of 12 in the Flyer net. Cybele, 11 of 12 in the Blue Jacket net. Just one penalty in period 1, whistled to Cambridge, and Little Falls is 1 for 1 on the power play.
As there's the puck drop, it was Luke Avery and I believe Seth Terrell once again. And this one's on the left side now. Now moving quickly is Wyson. Wyson moving in on the center. There's a wrist shot and a glove save by Isaac Collis, just 16 seconds through.
Yeah, just 16 seconds into the second period as the Blue Jackets come marching into the offensive zone, and Collis is alert and ready to go here in period 2, makes the glove save.
Seth Terrell on the offensive zone face-off for the Blue Jackets. This one's behind the net. Murad will get this one over to Walensky, who couldn't connect on the pass. Blitzdozer on a deflected shot by Sean Brown. It's going to end up going wide in the neutral zone. And that'll just be a little pad knock by Isaac Collis. Aaron Murad gets this one across. Lindbergh tries to get one through. It's not there. Terrell now will dump it in. Terrell is fresh off of the penalty box, I should say, from the power play goal. And now on the right side in the Flyers zone, trying to move it through the neutral zone now. This one's going to be dumped back in by Wyatt Garvey. Behind the net, Collis will leave it. Schmigdahl takes control, gets one up to Walensky. Walensky moving in on the right side. And instead he'll dump it off the glass behind the net. A shot from Lindbergh, loose puck. Here's Chisholm with the chance. And he whiffs on the wrist shot. And here's Schmigdahl, backhands one over. Carter Othow wasn't there. Now he tips one up. Ryan Othow couldn't connect. Now here's Lucas Gendro trying to move one through. It's not there. Drew Johnson with the puck. We'll get this one over to Colton Alcock. And there's a deflection from Isaac Collis that hits the ceiling.
In between the second and third period, we'll hear more about that 2008-2009 state tournament team that took third place at the Class A state tournament. The focus is going to be on the Section 6A championship game at the MAC in St. Cloud. Little Falls beat Alexandria in overtime, and our referee this afternoon, Wesley Wojtaszek, scored the game-winning goal.
And here's Carter Othout in the corner, and looks like he takes a huge hit on the boards. Ryan Othout looking for a shot now. And now it's a loose puck. It's taken by Josh Sorrow. And now he's moving through the center. Sorrow, there's nothing there. Looks like he wants to get it back out to the point. Instead, he'll dump it back in for what looks like Drew Johnson. It is Drew Johnson.
And a penalty along the end boards, deep in the Little Falls Flyers zone. A Shepherd's hook. Time of the penalty, 2:06 of the second period. And the penalty box door is going to open on the Blue Jackets side. And Little Falls is going to crank up the power play. For the second time in the game, they're 1 for 1 with the man advantage. The penalized Blue Jacket is Drew Johnson.
And as you said, they are 1 for 1. And last time all it took was a power play to crack Cybele. And we'll see if it's going to happen again. As here's Carter Othout. Othout at the point. Gets one for Avery. Across. Here's a chance. But it's wide left. That's Remy Chisholm. Othout looking to get a pass off. Here's Ryan Othout now. Gets this one over to Chisholm. Back to Ryan Othout, who tries to go backhand to Chisholm. Chisholm goes back to Ryan Othout. A couple of back and forth passes here. Othout wants a that was Carter Othout, I apologize. It's got to be the most amount of times I've said Othout.
Well, Thursday night, Mac, we had 3 Othouts on the same forward line.
Ooh.
Ryan, Carter, and Mason.
Oh my goodness. Now here's Carter looking for Ryan. It's not there. This one's going to go all the way back down. Isaac Collis will leave it for Luke Avery. Avery Deeks, he'll move left. Wanted Carter Othout, but it's going to go off the boards, and here's Remy Chisholm. Chisholm tries to move center. It's poke checked away. Loose puck now. Avery can't take control. Jared Foster will get this one. This is back into the neutral zone. Moving through. Here's Carter Othout. Loose puck now. No one can gain control. Terrell tries to clear. He can't, as it's kept in. And here comes Terrell on a one-on-one. It's looking like a chance. Terrell looking for his fellow teammates. It's no one.
Just trying
Now
to
back-
wisely take some time off that Flyer power play.
And it works successfully as there's only 30 seconds remaining. Behind the net, Isaac Collis will leave it for Luke Avery, who slaps one the other way. Here's Carter Othout, back to Luke Avery. Avery up ahead for Ryan Othout. And here is Joey Walensky. Trapped on the boards, a scramble for the puck. And here's Carter Othout. It looks like that Luke Avery wanted it. He ended up taking a shot, but it's going to be deflected. And the Blue Jackets will go back to full strength. Here's Chisholm. Chisholm across. Carter Othout with the chance. It goes off the post.
Crossbar, Carter Othout, what a chance.
Unbelievable. And now Carter Othout's trying to maneuver his way through. Ryan trying to poke check the puck away. He will successfully. And now he'll dump it back in for his brother Carter. Now it's behind the net and left for Jackson Zebarth, who gets one up ahead for Boostrom, but it wasn't there. Now moving through the right side, and Avery ends up hitting the ref on the hit. And I believe offsides.
Offsides at the Blue Jacket blue line. Here's the most important question of the day. Who's going to win the Super Bowl tomorrow?
I hope the 49ers.
You hope, but
Yeah.
are they going to win the Super Bowl?
You know, the Chiefs have been on quite the hot streak, and they're 12-1-1 in underdog games. And they are the underdog, so.
The Chiefs are 12-1-1 in underdog games.
Yep.
Yeah, and they're an underdog by 1.5 points.
Yep.
So you've obviously done a little research on this, because you wouldn't just come up with that off the top of your head.
I actually got that from my history teacher, Mr. DeBoer.
Okay, so
he's a hardcore Chiefs fan.
Okay, so they're 12-1-1 in underdog when they're an underdog.
Yep.
Interesting.
Back to the game now. That one was out in front for Derek Young, but it wasn't there. And oh my goodness, a speedy shot from Terrell. It won't go. Here's Derek Young looking for a pass. And it looked like he wanted to bump one ahead to Carter Othout, but he couldn't. Now moving in on the left side. I believe that was Caleb Wyson. It was. And Garvey's forced to skate back for the puck in his own zone. Garvey gets one through for what should be icing, and there's the whistle.
Now that was going nowhere. That went all the way down the length of the ice, and Cambridge is called for icing. 11:26 to go, second period of play. 1-0 Little Falls. Only goal of the game. 16:53 of the first period on the power play. Joey Walensky, 16th goal of the season. Another look at it here on Flyer Media Productions. Carter Othout the single assist. And it was the icebreaker at 16:53, and that's where we stand. 1-0 Little Falls. Saturday afternoon from the Exchange Arena, another icing call for Cambridge. And for the Blue Jackets, they will conclude their regular season on Tuesday at home, the Isanti Ice Arena, Osseo. The final opponent of the regular season for Cambridge is Osseo. The final opponent for the Little Falls on Tuesday during the regular season is the St. Cloud Cathedral Crusaders.
And now in the corner, it's Ryan Othout. A loose puck in the corner now. Looked like he wanted to take it away. And a scramble for the puck. Drew Johnson's trying to take control. A few poke checks, ends up on the stick of Carter. Now here's Gendro, whiffs on the wrist shot and ends up on the floor. And back out to the point. Chisholm tries to move one out front, but it's not there. Jared Foster looking for a pass. Chisholm keeps it in and whacks it into the corner. Now with the puck and just getting it up all the way down for icing. That was Isaac Boughton making his first appearance.
Yeah, kind of a semi-home run stretch pass that they were trying to catch Josh Sorrow with, and he did his best to track it down before it crossed the goal line extended, but unsuccessful, and Cambridge has been called for another icing here with 10:41 to go in the second.
It looks like that this trend's going to keep going with the amount of whistles
we
each
had
period.
a ton of whistles to start the first period, and we've had a number of whistles here in the second.
Garvey behind the net now, trying to just get it out of his own zone. And he'll lob one all the way up for Sean Brown. Brown has a chance. Brown fires! Loose puck! Terrell would have had it! But great defense by the Flyers!
Well, Schmidgall took that puck right away from Seth Terrell. Terrell thought he was going to score for the 28th time this season, but it was the Bantam-eligible freshman Kyler Schmidgall to snipe the puck away from Terrell.
And an unbelievable job at that as we hit the 10-minute mark. And here's a loose puck out in front, and there's no signal. It doesn't look like that we're going to have a goal here, as that was Caleb Wyson who looked like he had the last chance on that.
Well, Murad was also providing a little extra defense for the Little Falls Flyers in front of Collis with this rush from the Blue Jackets. And that was on the Flyer Media Productions. Had a chance to see a great defensive play by Kyler Schmidgall. We had a chance to hear from Kyler Schmidgall on the radio Thursday night as he was one of our intermission guests.
And now on the right side, it looks like that Walensky wanted to take it away, but now it's Wyson. Wyson back out to the point. Splitsdosser will take a shot on. It's not going to go. Wyson now once again behind the net, trying to get it out to the point. It's Splitsdosser across. It's Garvey. Garvey whiffs on a wrist shot once more. It's about the third whiff that I've seen today so far. And now behind the net, trying to just get it away. It's still Splitsdosser, and a weak slap shot in the corner now. Brown can't take control. Moving through is Luke Avery. They just can't get it out of their own zone right now. Now behind the net. And it looks like it was Murad who's going to move it forwards to Garrett Lindberg. It'll go behind the net, and Seibel will leave it for Splitsdosser. This one goes all the way down, and there's no icing call. Remy Chisholm in the corner. This one's moved out by Drew Johnson. Trying to speed up the pace a little here. Oath out now. Mason Oath out, I should say. This one's poke check back. Here's Remy Chisholm. Chisholm moving in on the left side. Chisholm looking for a centering pass. Instead, he takes a shot, and I'm not sure where the puck is.
Well, Seibel was able to trap it. And it looks like it might have got into his blocker as he hugged that goal post, just exactly what he needed to do. Remy Chisholm had two options. One to take a shot from a sharp angle, one to go back behind, the other to go back behind the net. Elected to take the shot from the sharp angle, and Seibel sealed up that gap between his right shoulder and the goalpost. Penalty, Little Falls penalty, deep in the right wing corner, Flyers offensive zone.
18 shots apiece so far in today's game, and I believe, actually couldn't tell you who that was.
8:29 is the time of the penalty. It's a roughing call. And the penalty box door opens for the Little Falls Flyers, and it's Carter Wilmus. Wilmus roughing, 8:29 of the second period. Blue Jacket power play, first of the afternoon. Blue Jackets have scored, I think I've got him with 19 power play goals. Terrell has 5 power play goals. Sorrow has 5 power play goals. Flyers on the penalty kill this year, 82.2%.
And here's Ryan Othout, who almost had a breakaway opportunity, but he ends up on the ice. And Terrell will move this one through and all the way up ahead for Sorrow. Sorrow, who you said has plenty of power play goals, looking to add another. And now on the right side, gets this one out to the point, Splitsdosser. Across once more, Terrell, glove saved by Isaac Collis.
Now the cross-rink pass from Splitsdosser. He finds Terrell. Terrell's the right-handed shot, released it from there, and Collis makes the save. Little Falls has surrendered 4 power play goals in their last 4 games. But for the most part this season, the penalty kill's been pretty stingy.
And now at the point, it looks like that was Splitsdosser trying to move it through. And it looks like that Terrell will move it all the way around. Murad trying to poke check this one away. Garvey with the puck now. Moves it for Brown. Brown decides to take a shot. It looked like it went behind the net. Now at the point, it's Splitsdosser. Moves it for Terrell, but he ends up on the ice, and that will be cleared down with a minute remaining on the power play.
One move that the Flyers make when they're on the penalty kill is to have Avery go back and play defense.
And now moving in on the right side. Here comes a chance, and there's another save by Isaac Collis.
Yeah, Sorrow came darting in along the right side, cut to the net, took the shot, and Collis was able to make the save as the Flyer penalty kill continues for another 47 seconds as we have a chance to see that last Isaac Collis save. Collis has made 20 saves in this game.
I mean, that's pretty impressive with no goals allowed.
It's always impressive what Isaac Collis does.
No kidding. Now behind the net, it looks like Cybele's going to leave it for Garvey. Moving up, it's Jared Foster who gets it across for Drew Johnson. Johnson moving in on the left side, looking for a centering pass. And now he's moving behind the net, gets this one out to the point. Here's a shot, deflection, Collis looking to cover it, and it's cleared by Aaron. I believe that was Aaron Murad.
Yeah, Murad, great job defensively. Second good defensive play for the Little Falls Flyers in front of their own net in this period. Schmidgall earlier, now Murad.
And now it looks like a chance. Lindbergh trying to get it through to Carter Oathout. He couldn't quite do it successfully. Behind the net now, Jared Foster shoving down Carter Oathout.
Kind of roughing him up back behind the Blue Jacket net.
And the Flyers are back to full strength now as Avery sends this one all the way down for icing once more.
Blue Jackets are 0 for 1 on the power play as the Wilmus penalty expires. Little Falls is 1 for 2 with the man advantage as the only goal of the game came on the power play back in period 1 from Joey Walensky. Be a face-off in the Flyers defensive zone to the left of sophomore goaltender Isaac Collis.
And I believe that's Carter Oathout for the face-off against Terrell. Behind the net now and into the corner. Ryan Oathout dekes a man. Great job with the puck movement. Ryan Oathout moving in on the right side, backhand attempt, and now he still has the puck, falls on the ice, and it's going to go behind the net, and Weisson's there, and Gendro lays down a hit out in front. Carter Oathout looking for a shot now, but now he's in the corner, forced to get it away, and here comes a wrist shot on that's deflected out of play with 5:48 remaining.
The shot came from the right point, and Cybele wisely was able to deflect that out of play with his stick. That'll give Little Falls an offensive zone faceoff. As we creep closer to the second period intermission between the second and third period, again we'll hear from the 2008-2009 Little Falls Flyers. They won 30 games that season. They went into the state tournament undefeated, the number 1 seed. They lost in the Class A semifinals to Breck and then beat St. Cloud Cathedral 4-3 to win the third place trophy. And none other than Ben Hanowski scored the game-winning goal in the third place game against St. Cloud Cathedral.
And now there's another whistle for what I actually couldn't tell you. Don't really know what just happened there.
Going to bring the faceoff all the way down into the Blue Jackets zone because there's a penalty. Interference call. So Terrell gets a second ticket of the game into the box for interference.
I mean, I don't know who's going to say it, so I'm going to be the one to say it. The last time Terrell was out, I mean, the Flyers are up 1-0.
Yeah, that's a good point, Mac. Good way to link those two events together. So we'll see if Little Falls can get another power play goal with Terrell in the penalty box.
And it's looking like, I actually don't know what's going on. I think just maybe.
Are they talking to one of the coaches?
I couldn't
I
tell
want
you.
to say that maybe Jared Zebarth, the head coach of the Blue Jackets, was having a conversation with one of the referees. It's my guess. Of course, you know, we have limited visibility to the benches here from our broadcast. You have a good look at the Flyer bench from your spot.
That's true. And now clearing it down on the slap is Nolan Wadachuk. And now behind his own net, it's Avery who gets it across. And here comes Carter Oathout. Oathout moving through, stays center now. Wadachuk with great defense so far. Now he's racing after the puck. It looks like he's looking for a shorthanded opportunity. That did look like a little trip with the stick, but no call. And Ryan Oathout moves in on the right side. Again, great defense from the Blue Jackets. Oathout looking to get the puck away. He does. And now it's Chisholm. Chisholm across. Here's Oathout. Carter Oathout behind the net. That could have bumped off.
That could have. It came wildly off the end glass, and Cybele had to be quick to get that out of the way.
4:30 remaining in period 2. And the Flyers have just under a minute left on the power play, looking to capitalize. And here's Chisholm now. Tries to leave it for Carter Oathout. A dangerous move by Remy Chisholm. And this one's going to be dumped in by, I believe, Boostrom. And now Walensky moves this one ahead to Ryan Oathout, who narrowly avoids a hit. Oh my goodness. Trapped in the corner now. Walensky trying to break through. And it's trapped in the corner once again Chisholm breaks free, tries to get a pass across to Luke Avery. Now behind the net, Ryan Othout will move it. It's back in the corner once again. Here's Chisholm. Chisholm looking for a centering pass. Loose puck, fires on the slap shot, but it's deflected off the skate. And Carter Othout will move this one through to Remy Chisholm. Now Lindbergh, and it looks like he wanted to get it off the boards, but ends up going out of play.
That should about do it for the Flyer power play. Just 2 seconds remaining in the man advantage. They are going to be 1 for 3 on the power play this afternoon. That last opportunity came from Carter Othout, but Jackson Zebarth, the sophomore, great block shot. Block shots, the little things in high school hockey can take you a long ways.
And now Collis looks like he's just going to leave it for Gendro and Murad. Gendro tries to clear it down, but it's kept in by Tempesta. Now this one's in on the left side. It's Wyson. Wyson looking for a pass now. He'll go behind the net to Terrell. Terrell can't move it through anywhere. This one will drift out into the neutral zone, and Tori Tempesta picks up the puck. Across to Jared Foster. Foster will go across once again, but it's not there. Schmigdal is there for the Flyers. Around now, Foster trying to keep it in, and that one will go flying out of play with 2:51 left to go.
No scoring here in the second period of play. Shots right now favor Cambridge 21-19. Flyers have had 3 power play opportunities. The Blue Jackets with 1 power play opportunity. Face off in the Flyers zone to the left of Collis, and the face-off will be taken by Josh Sorrow for the Blue Jackets, and he'll be opposed by Carter Othout, and he just slams Othout after the face-off. Really unnecessarily. Could have been interference.
I would have called that a penalty myself.
Yeah, I thought that was a legitimate interference.
And now moving in on the left side, it's going to be Sorrow. Sorrow tries to backhand, loose puck now, it's not there.
Yeah, great defensive play by Carter Othout.
And now moving through, it's Ryan Othout. Othout trying to skate ahead, but great defense by Sorrow. Just by the blue line to exit the neutral zone, but it's taken back and dumped in, and Aaron Murad is there off the boards, and there's slapped way out of play. Looked like he tried to dump it in, but it ended up going a little high.
That ended up way out of play here at the Exchange Arena. They'll bring the face-off outside center ice dot. See if one or the other here can get a push here late in the period. Little Falls scored late in period 1, and Coach Hanowski would love to get another to pad that lead going into the second period intermission.
Chisholm tries to move it behind the net, but it ends up on the stick of Lindbergh. Now it's taken back. A glove goes flying. I don't know whose glove that
Joey
was.
Walensky's.
That could be pretty cold hand for him there.
Well, he's got to be careful, too. You don't want to injure yourself, and he's going to play the puck with only one glove.
Joey Walensky with one glove. Now he's looking for a pass. Little risky, but now he'll get a pass away. Wonder if he'll,
he's going to retrieve the glove. Yeah, you got to be careful in a situation like that. The last thing you want to do is get checked along the boards and fracture a finger, fracture a wrist, and be done for the season. But no fear. Joey Walensky, the junior, he's played for the Little Falls Flyers as a Bantam-eligible freshman, and he wasn't to be denied. He wasn't going off for a line change. He was going to take the puck, even though he only had a single glove.
I know Joey pretty well personally, and that suits him pretty well.
And his mom makes some of the best bars ever. Did you have one of the bars?
I probably should.
I've got 2 with us. We'll have one in between periods if you'd like one.
Sounds like a plan. This one drifts wide right on the wrist shot by Brown. At the point now. Here's Brown once again. Sean Brown moving left side. Tries to get a pass ahead, but it's not there, as it looks like they're about to enter in the final minute of period 2. Flyers trying to get in. One more chance. It looks like an odd man rush, but Terrell catches up. Here's Carter Othout, fires, and it goes high. He wanted another late goal. And now a loose puck in the neutral zone. Terrell uses the stick to maneuver the puck through. That's a great play by Seth Terrell. And now Chisholm takes control of the puck, gets one off the boards, kept in at the point by Garvey. Garvey tries to move it through, but now it's taken back by Walensky. Here's Tori Tempesta. Tempesta gets this one across. Here's Seth Terrell. Terrell looking for some late magic.
Oh.
There's a wrist shot. Oh my goodness. Jamie, I just cannot believe the speed of his shots.
Well, Terrell just came in with a full head of steam, was able to take that shot, and you said he was looking for some late magic in the third period, but Collis has seen that trick before.
24 ticks remaining in period 2, and it's a pretty big face-off for the Blue Jackets. And they're not going to take advantage here as Luke Avery gets this one all the way down for Walensky, who tries to get one off the boards, but he can't. And now bumped off the boards once more by Dombeck. And Tori Tempesta tries to move it through. 10 seconds remaining. Avery and Oath looking for one more chance. 5 ticks. It's behind the net, and that should just about wrap it up. Oh, one more huge hit.
Look out, the temperatures might get up.
Oh my goodness.
There was a big check thrown in the right wing corner, offensive zone for the Little Falls Flyers. Tori Tempesta went into the corner. He was just going to put his skates against the puck, keep it over near the boards, so the period would expire, and he got blasted. And his teammates took exception to it. I mean, he was going over. There was about 4 seconds left. He was going to skate over, trap that puck against the boards, let the clock expire because they didn't want to fumble the puck and give the Flyers a chance, and he absolutely got blasted in the corner. And that's a situation where something like that happens at the end of the period, and sometimes it goes a little farther than you'd like to see it go.
I mean, thankfully it didn't happen here. But Jamie, do you want to give us a quick recap of?
We'll do that when we come back. I think we will. I can mention, though, that Joey Walensky did score the only goal of the game at 16:53 of the first period. It was on the power play. That was the icebreaker. That was the only goal of the afternoon. We'll have one more chance to look at it here on Flyer Media Productions. Oath out to Walensky. 1-0 Flyer lead after 1. 1-0 Flyer lead after 2. Now we'll transition into our second period intermission. We will hear from the 2008-2009 team that won third place at the Class A state tournament. We're going to focus on the Section 6A championship game when Little Falls beat Alexandria in overtime.
We'll take a quick break, everyone. Stay tuned.
So moving on after that game, you guys in the playoffs. That's out of the way. So now you can focus on getting back to the state tournament. An easy 11-0 win against Prairie Center. You took on Fergus Falls, a 5-2 win at the MAC, and that set up the third game once again for the second year in a row against the Alexandria Cardinals. I got to ask, obviously, we talked about this, but this is your senior year. You've gone to state the 4 other years. You've obviously watched the seniors graduate in that. I'm guessing, and you guys have said we're going to win. This is our season. Was there any nerves going into that game at all? Because this could have been it.
Well, I can talk a little bit. I thought it was going to be a cakewalk. I thought we were in for sure, no problem. I think I was a little not as nervous as I was the year before. But I had no idea that it was going to end up the way it did. And that never crossed my mind. I think I was pretty confident that we had the better team, and there was just no way that they were going to pull out a Cinderella win or anything like that.
Anybody else have any feelings about that?
I mean, kind of like we talked about a little bit earlier too, is it when you are a senior, there is just it's a little different, because when you're a junior in the section finals and maybe you don't play great or a goalie stands on his head and beats you and it's a sad night, but you get one more kick at it. But when it's your senior year and it only takes a outstanding goalie performance or something like that to beat you. So I think maybe a little bit just different pressure, just being it could be your last one, but we hadn't lost yet, and we had a group that had been in a lot of big games, and so we knew they were a good team. Because what was it, 1-goal games the 2 other times we played them?
Yeah. It was the first game you beat them, I think, pretty handily. It was actually, it was 4-3, and then it was 1-0. Correct. Yeah. You're right.
So we knew they were a good team, and they packed it in, and Matt Hemingway was a good goalie, and If there was a team that could beat us, it was going to be them in the section.
You mentioned packing it in. The MAC was sold out before even they dropped the puck. Obviously, you had probably 2,000 plus people at the Exchange Arena a couple weeks before. And what was the atmosphere like that night? You guys remember of a sold out MAC?
It was hot.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I know wasn't there some issues with the way they sold the tickets? There were some people outside that didn't get in. Just the fact that they had said that they were going to open the gate at a certain time, and they opened it earlier. And then there was a lot of people that were outside that couldn't get back in or couldn't get in at all. So there was a lot of irritated people that never got in.
I rent some ice at the MAC for different skates, and Todd, the arena manager there, was the arena manager when we were in that 09 season. He still thinks to this day it's the most people they've ever had in the MAC for a game.
Very cool. Yeah. The sheet here, the Rink Rider sheet, says sold out 2,000 plus on it, is what it says right here on the sheet. So in that game, obviously, Alex took a 1-0 lead. Wesley tied it up. It's 1-1 after 1. Alex takes the 2-1 lead after 2 going into the third. Ben, you score the tying goal. You're going to overtime. And Tony, as you just mentioned, you thought this was going to be a cakewalk. You had about a 3-minute break before you had to go out and go to overtime. Do you remember what you said to the boys at all or anything?
I don't know, remember what I said, but I do remember that all of a sudden panic set in, thinking that, we're seniors. I think we have 18 seniors that year with JV and varsity, and it was just an incredible season. And there was just no way that this was going to end bad. But all of a sudden you get into a situation and it's tied. And then you're thinking that just one little, mess up or something or bad bounce could go your way and it would be over that fast. An incredible season. And also, anytime that you have those seniors and you're that close to them and they're that close to one another, that it would be just a shame that we'd lose the game. But definitely sweating a little bit in that game, and hopefully that we would move on, but there was no guarantee at that time.
I think
Well, you didn't have to wait long, that's for sure, because you only had about 1:37 into the game, and it ended with Wesley Wojtaszek scoring the game winner, Riley Hirsch and Ben Hanowski getting assists. Wesley, Riley, Ben, what do you remember of that one?
I don't know if Ben and Riley remember this, but during that short intermission, right, between overtime and third period, I remember we were sitting on the ice in front of the bench, and I think we were all pretty gassed. And I think, Ben, you were like, we have to end this quick. Like, it's got to be done quick. And I just remember looking at Ben like, all right, like, you're going to end it then. Like, I just kind of figured he's going to be the guy, right? Like, well, let's get Ben the puck so he can score a goal, because we kind of leaned on him to get the game tire. And, and I just remember the face-off play and remember Ben chipping it by and Riley getting it, and I'm just driving to the net. I'm like, Riley, shoot. And he passed it to me. And to this day, like, I thought I just one-timed it. I caught it on my backhand, which is amazing in itself, because I didn't think I was that good of a hockey player, and went to my forehand and actually went glove side on Hemingway, which probably was a terrible idea at the time, but just got it past him. And then after that, I remember just getting mauled by Logan Collis, and he drilled me. So I probably got concussed from the hit when he hit me. And he had a fishbowl on, the clear bubble mask, and he's yelling and it's just fogging up. And it was like unbelievable. Like, I don't remember what happened after that point. Like,
I just remember watching Tony Kuchar go about 6 feet into the air and land on the ice.
Yeah, I got up on the side, and I believe when the puck went in, I was probably almost out in center ice. And I remember jumping out on there, and then running out to the middle of the ice. And then all of a sudden, I kind of looked around. I was the only one out there. Like everybody else was mauling the players and everything. And all of a sudden I just kind of stopped and I was just kind of looking around and I was by myself. And I don't know where any of the other coaches were, but I remember jumping up there, jumping way out there, running out there. I don't know why I was running, but I got out to the middle and that's where I sat and watched everything happen. And kids are, ecstatic. And yeah, at that time it was, a dream come true going to the state tournament again, undefeated. So
I remember jumping in the fan section and all of our buddies that come to our games are like yelling, "No school for a week." That's how they were pumped out.
And welcome back, everyone, to Flyer Media Productions, as the Ben Hanowski record-breaking goal segment has just concluded. And Jamie, what are your first thoughts?
Well, I would encourage everyone to go to LFCS TV, the YouTube channel, to watch the full 1 hour and about 30 minutes. I had it on this morning as I was putting together my broadcast notes, and there's a plug for it right there. You can see who is featured in the interview: Tony Kuchar, Wesley Wojtaszek, Ben Nelson, Riley Hirsch, Joe Rydeen, Ben Hanowski, Joey Hanowski, of course, Mark Deal, along with James Hershey, contributed to that interview. And another A-plus job by Mark Deal, editing an hour and 30 minutes and putting together the two segments that we saw this afternoon. Between periods 1 and 2, it was the record-breaking night for Ben Hanowski. And then we just heard about the Section 6A championship game when Little Falls beat the Alexandria Cardinals in overtime. Little Falls came into that game 27-0 in the Section 6A championship game as the number 1 seed against the Alexandria Cardinals. They had beaten the Cardinals twice during the regular season, both by a goal. You had two high-end goaltenders in Michael Spurl and Matt Hemingway. And as Wesley Wojtaszek describes in the interview, he talks in detail about how he scored that game-winning goal and how fortunate that he felt that they had scored early in overtime, because they were talking about it after regulation and they felt that maybe they were a little tired and they wanted to end it early, and they did. Wesley also mentions that Riley Hirsch had the puck and he was hoping that Riley was going to shoot the puck. He wanted Riley to shoot the puck. Instead, he slid it over to Wojtaszek, and Wojtaszek beat Matt Hemingway to the glove side, and the Flyers' perfect season continued. They were 28-0. It would have been an absolutely crushing defeat had they went down in the 6A championship game with that undefeated season, and they had Ben Hanowski, at that time the state's all-time leading scorer. Alexandria's head coach was Scott Woods. Scott Woods was my broadcast partner last night. Scott Woods and I played together. We were captains in 1992 for the Wadena Deer Creek Wolverines, and I know it was a tough loss for him. He coached the Alexandria Cardinals for 6 seasons. That was a really good Alexandria Cardinal team, and they gave the Little Falls Flyers all they could possibly handle, but it was the Wojtaszek Magic at the MAC that sent Little Falls to the state tournament, 28-0. They ended up getting the number 1 seed at the state tournament. They beat Virginia in the quarterfinals. Ben Hanowski scored 5 goals in that game, ran up against a good Breck team in the semifinals, lost to the Breck Mustangs. Eventually the Mustangs went on to win the Class A state championship. That put the Flyers in the 3rd place game against St. Cloud Cathedral. They trailed 3-0 after 1 period of play. The Flyers did. And if you watch the entire hour and 30 minutes, the discussion will be, how did Coach Kuchar handle the locker room between the 1st and 2nd period in that 3rd place game? He pretty much told the seniors, if you're not going to play for us, I'm going to bench you. I'm going to play the underclassmen because I want to see what we can get from these guys next season. So if you guys can't step it up in the 2nd period, I'm going to play the other guys. Well, they did step it up. Got the game tied 3-3, and then Ben Hanowski scored for the 196th time in his career as the Flyers beat St. Cloud Cathedral 4-3 and took home the 3rd place trophy. 30 wins and just 1 loss.
And Jamie, I got to ask you, out of the full hour and 30-minute interview, or I should say meeting or something.
Yep, Zoom call.
Yeah. Like, what was your favorite part, or just like a few things that you really enjoyed?
Well, I love Coach Kuchar's stories, and I actually called Coach Kuchar as I was driving to the rink this afternoon to talk to him about it. Coach Kuchar was on the bus to Roseau. They are playing, the Brainerd Little Falls girls are playing Roseau at 6 o'clock tonight in a playoff game. So Coach Kuchar was on the bus with the Brainerd Little Falls girls, and we discussed the interview, but Coach Kuchar is such a great storyteller. He recalls so much. And then I think my favorite part of the interview was at the end, when James Hershey gave the players an opportunity to talk about their senior year and about the coaching staff and the accolades that they gave Tony Kuchar. I could tell that, I know Riley Hirsch really likes Coach Kuchar, and I could tell Riley seemed like he was getting a little emotional there as he was talking about Coach Kuchar, but I just love the stories that the players shared about Coach Kuchar and how much respect they had for him, Bob Stark, and John Majerle.
And when you look back at that 2008 and 2009 season, what's your favorite memory?
Well, you've got to look at the night that Ben Hanowski scored the record. I guess I'll tease it. I told Tony Kuchar this. I did not bring it up with Ben Hanowski when we had him on during the second period of the Laverne game, but I have a Ben Hanowski story that I've never told. And there'll come a time where I will tell my favorite Ben Hanowski story, but it's related to that 2008-2009 state tournament team, and the story relates around an experience at the state tournament. But it's my favorite Ben Hanowski story. Coach Kuchar's involved, but when the time is right, I'll tell it.
Got it. Thank you, Jamie. So, through 2 periods, it's still a 1-0 game, and the Flyers have managed 20 shots to the Blue Jackets 23, and Isaac Collis is just pitching a perfect shutout right now.
Yes, he is. He's 23 of 23, the only goal of the game at 16:53 on the power play back in period 1. 16th goal of the season for Joey Walensky. Single assist, Carter Othout. Walensky from Othout, 16:53 of the first period on the power play. Little Falls had a 1-0 lead after 1. They have a 1-0 lead after 2. Shots on goal in period 1, 12 for Little Falls, 12 for Cambridge. Second period shots favored Cambridge 11-8. Through 2 periods, 23 shots for the Blue Jackets, 20 for the Flyers. Collis, 23 of 23 in the Flyer net. Seibel, 19 of 20 in the Blue Jacket net. Flyers are 1 for 3 on the power play. Blue Jackets 0 for 1 with the man advantage. A 1-goal game as we start period 3. Max Swenson.
And Carter Othout will take the loss on that face-off to Seth Terrell. And this one's in the neutral zone. Terrell reached out as far as possible. Actually, never mind, that was Sean Brown. I apologize. In the neutral zone now. Here's a loose puck. Schmigdahl takes control. And this one's going to be smacked up by Splitstosser. And here's Terrell. Terrell wanting Brown. It's not there. And it looks like that Luke Avery lost his stick there. And back in the corner now, it's Wyson. This one's going to be taken out by Joey Walensky, who has the lone goal tonight. I should say this afternoon. Now moving through the Flyers zone is Wyson as Luke Avery ends up on the ice. Avery now has control of the puck. He gets it across to Walensky. Here comes Walensky on an unbelievable deke. Here's the wrist shot, and it's a save by Seibel.
Yeah, Walensky just trying to meander his way into the zone. Eventually got to a point where he took a shot near the left faceoff dot, and Seibel makes his first save of the period just 56 seconds in as the Flyers cling to that 1-0 lead.
And here comes an offensive zone faceoff. It looks like Garrett Lindberg is at center right now, and it is Garrett Lindberg. In the corner now, here's Ryan Othout. Othout takes a shot, it's not there, and that one's launched out of play and into the opposing bench.
Yeah, well, possibly some different line combinations here in the second period as Lindberg is between Gendro and Ryan Othout.
And here's Garrett Lindberg for another faceoff once again against Colton Alcock. And another slap shot that just...
Yeah, Sorrow absorbed that, and he's shaken up.
I mean, that's got to hurt. Direct slap shot. And Lucas Gendro is trying to poke it out. He does successfully, but Doesn't look like that the Flyers are going to take control as Wilmus will dump that one in. I don't know if you saw that, but Seibel just smacked that with his arm into the corner.
He's pretty talented as a junior.
And now in the corner, looks like I believe that's Drew Johnson trying to move it through. Here comes a chance. Ryan Oathell looking for a shot. It's not there. Drew Johnson now behind the net. Gets it out. Here's Jared Foster. Foster taken away by Ryan Oathell. Foster somehow gets it back in the corner. This one smacked up. Foster now looking to get it out to the point. It ends up drifting into the neutral zone. And now Johnson trying to make his way in. Here comes a chance, and a deflected by Carter Oathell. Collis leaves it for Chisholm.
Good block by Carter Oathell.
This one will drift off into the Blue Jacket zone, and it's smacked back. And it looks like that Boughton will take control in the corner as he hits the ice. And here's Chisholm. Chisholm wants a shot, fires it, goes high. Splitstozer with the puck behind the net. Gains control once again, looking for a pass through his own zone now. Instead, he lobs this one all the way up. He wanted Terrell, but it wasn't there. And now moving through on the left side, it's Carter Oathell. Dodges a hit from Splitstozer. And now a scramble for the puck along the left side of the boards. And this one goes off the boards and all the way down. And Collis will cover, seeing no other option.
Yeah, hot in pursuit of the puck was Sean Brown, and Collis covers up with 14:01 to go in the third period. Still 1-0 for the Little Falls Flyers. It's Carter Oathell now between Luke Avery and Joey Walensky, as we had seen Lindbergh centering Ryan Oathell and Lucas Gendro.
At the point now. Oh, it's taken away by Walensky on a breakaway. Here's Joey Walensky. Has a chance. It's not going to go.
Great skate save made by Seibel on the breakaway from Walensky.
And this one's clashed up, and it's going to go out of play. Joey Walensky on the breakaway can't capitalize.
As we'll have another look at it here on Flyer Media Productions as he shows some speed. Got in and a skate save, right skate save made by Seibel. And just after that, Walensky had another opportunity, and the puck ended up in the safety netting. Third line for Little Falls, Derek Young, Bo Majerle, and Mason Oathout.
Derek Young for the face-off. Flyers trying to take control. It's going to be behind the net. Foster tries to poke check it away. Mason Oathout tries to keep control, but this one will go all the way down. No icing call here, and Collis decides to cover, seeing Sorrow chasing very close by.
Well, his 26th save of the game, 26 shots for the Blue Jackets. Little Falls has 24 shots on goal, and Jackson Seibel has made 23 saves in the Blue Jacket net.
As Derek Young for another face-off. It looks like Colton Alcock for the Blue Jackets. This one's back out to the point. Garvey across for Splitstozer, and Oathout tried to knock it out of the air, but he couldn't. Here's a wrist shot on, and Collis with another save.
Sorrow blasts a shot from the right half wall. Not an easy save for Collis, as there was some traffic in front of him, but eventually makes the save he needed to make, and a face-off to his left, and Derek Young will take it for the Little Falls Flyers.
And the netminder, Isaac Collis, is just unbelievable.
Yeah, he's dialed in this afternoon.
And out in front now, a loose puck, and another great defensive play by Little Falls. We've seen that 2 other times today.
Yeah, they've had some good defensive work in front of Isaac Collis, and that's obviously necessary. Collis can't do it all. You've got to play well in front of Collis, and the Flyers have.
13-12 remaining in the final period of action. 24 shots for Little Falls and 27 for the Blue Jackets.
And the Flyers will change lines, and they'll come with Lindbergh, Gendro, and Ryan Oathout. Ryan Oathout's due for a goal. He's only scored one goal in his last 9 games.
It's got to happen eventually with Ryan Oathout, as this one's going to be dumped back in and around the net. And it looks like that Alex Toma laid down that hit. This one's back out at the point. Garvey wants to move it through. Remy Chisholm finds Gendro. Gendro gets this one across for Ryan Oathout, but he couldn't connect on the pass. A couple of moves, ends up with the stick on the floor. That's Ryan Oathout's stick. Collis will leave it for Chisholm. Chisholm moves this one forward to Lucas Gendro. Gendro leaves it for Lindbergh. Back to Avery. Avery behind the net looking for a pass now. Avery will go to the point. It's Chisholm. Chisholm shot it on. Looked like he went wide left. And here's Walensky in the corner trying to move around. But Garvey will end up poke checking it away. Walensky finds a centering pass. Out in front, it goes wide left. And a great chance for Carter Oathout. And here's Murad. Murad, a wrist shot that goes wide left.
Missed it by about 5 feet.
And now in the corner, Walensky trying to catch up. Tries to lean in with his shoulder. It's not there. And Terrell wanted control of the puck, but it ends up on the stick of Zebarth. And here comes Chisholm. Chisholm looking for a centering pass. Remy Chisholm finds the pass. Loose puck fires. It goes off of a few bodies. And here's Garvey who lofts one up for Terrell. Here's Terrell. Wrist shot wide right off the post.
Collis got some of it, then it went off the right goalpost. Good chance for the Blue Jackets leading scorer, Seth Terrell.
And here's Aaron Murad behind his own net looking for a pass. Finds Avery. Avery tries to dump it through, and it ends up touching the neutral zone, and they're forced to regroup. Here comes Terrell. Terrell coming off a very close attempt. Fires one, and Collis gets a piece of it, and it flies up at the ceiling.
They better pay some extra attention to Seth Terrell. He had a really good shift there, had 2 good scoring chances. Collis made the saves, but a lot of pressure here on Collis in the third period. 29 saves for Isaac Collis, not saying that he can't handle it. However, Little Falls would love to get one more to increase that lead to 2.
That one goal is proving to be very, very helpful for Little Falls, because this would be an absolute nail-biter if it isn't already. As this one heads across, I believe that was Boostrom. And another save by Isaac Collis.
They lob one from the left side, and Collis is able to glove that. Kind of like a shortstop, able to make the save. Less than 11 minutes to go in the third period. Little Falls will change. They'll come with Lindbergh, Ryan Oathout, Lucas Gendro for a defensive zone face-off.
And the Blue Jackets are going to take control, but now it's taken back by Lucas Gendro. Foster gets one off the boards. And here come the Blue Jackets, as now it's dumped in by Wadachuk. Schmigdal trying to find a pass. This one's taken back. It's Boostrom. He'll leave it for Lillamo. I believe Lillamo is making his first appearance in this afternoon's game.
He's down in my spare forwards.
And this one's going to be poke checked out by Lindbergh, but it's taken back by Jared Foster. Foster in on the right side. Great move by Ryan Oathout. Oathout entering in their own zone. Digs, fires!
Out to the penalty box.
10:03 left to go, and this is a big power play for the Blue
sure
Jackets.
Is. Look out for Terrell.
And here comes the face-off. Flyers will take the win. Avery tried to clear. It's not there. Back out to the point now. Splitstrom. Looks like he wanted to get this one through. It ends up going all the way down. I believe that was actually Splitstozer, my bad. Behind the net now, it is Splitstozer. Moving through, instead he dekes and moves back now. Here's Seth Terrell moving in on the left side. Crosses into the Flyers zone. He's moving quickly, has a chance out in front on the backhand. And another save by Isaac Collis. 9:30 remaining in period 3. Every second that's passing by is just a chance for Cambridge. Now on the right side, Splitstozer, who moves into the Flyers zone. Moving in on the left side. Wrist shot goes wide right. Terrell picks up the loose puck, and that one's going to be deflected. Can't be taken out. And another wrist shot, and there's the clear. And a much-needed break for Isaac Collis. That was Josh Soro.
Collis has 8 saves in this period, and they haven't been easy saves either.
And that one's going to go off the skate
Actually,
of
they
Terrell.
update the scoreboard. He's got 10 saves.
Oh my goodness. Just an unbelievable job by Isaac Collis. In the corner now, Chisholm clears, but it's going to be kept in barely by Garvey. And now it's Lindbergh to Chisholm, who now will clear it down successfully.
A much-needed clear for the Little Falls Flyers, but still 25 seconds on the Blue Jacket power play. They're second of the game. They're 0 for 1.
And nearly poke checked away by Gendro. Lindbergh takes his time and now will clear. A great penalty kill by the Flyers so far today. And Garvey looking for a chance. And it's taken back. Here's Gendro on man rush. Gendro fires. Rebound by Lindberg, but it's not going to go. Loose puck out in front. Lindberg on the backhand. It's gloved by Seibel. And that will do it for the power play.
As the Flyers return to full strength, the Blue Jackets are 0 for 2 on the power play. Gendro was able to pick off that puck. He had Lindberg along the left side. He elected to shoot. The better option might have been to have used Lindberg, but he took the shot. Seibel made the save, and Lindberg still had the opportunity with the rebound before Seibel was able to cover up.
I got to agree with you on that there. I probably would have elected to pass it to Lindberg.
Yeah, Lindberg became the decoy, but he should have been more involved, I think, in the play by receiving the pass.
It's Drew Johnson tries to move this one through. He does successfully, and the Flyers back in their own zone. Murad whiffs on the pass. Now it's loose in the neutral zone, taken back by Carter Othout. Othout moves in, tries to get a shot off, and looked like it hit a...
Well, Walensky lost his stick. Now he's lost a glove and a stick in this game. He quickly gets the stick back, though.
And now moving on the left side. This one's going to be dumped in. Avery's racing for the puck in the corner now. He'll lay down a hit. And now it looks like Carter Othout took a little fall on the ice.
Avery tried to go back to Murad, but it was way too hot to handle.
And now moving through the neutral zone, Jared Foster couldn't keep control of the puck. Avery gets a pass away to Lucas Gendro, and it'll go behind the net and in the corner. Carter Othout tried to lay down a hit. And now Lucas Gendro looking to use a skate to get it out in the corner once again, and now behind the net. It's Wyson. A loose stick, that's Carter Othout's. Here comes Wyson. Wyson utilizing his speed, moving it on the right side. Wyson out in front! Isaac Collis! Wow!
Wyson just fighting his way through Little Falls Flyer defenders. Did everything possible to get to the net. We'll have a good look at it here on Flyer Media Productions as Wyson gets through. Eventually 3 Flyers is able to just tip that puck onto the net. Collis, steady as ever, stayed right at the top of the crease to make the save, but Wyson displaying some speed, got through 3 Flyers before he was able to shoot that puck.
I just cannot believe Isaac Collis this afternoon. An unbelievable job.
Let's hope it stays that way for another 6 minutes and 27 seconds.
No kidding. At the point now, Splitstozer will move it through. Terrell decides to take a shot on. Great defense. That'll touch the ceiling.
Well, Chisholm flips it right off the ceiling. That'll keep the face-off in the Flyers zone. 34-27. Little Falls is trailing in the shots on goal department. Joey Walensky has the only goal of the game back in period 1. 16:53 on the power play.
Here comes the face-off. That's Garrett Lindberg. Chisholm gets this one around to Gendro. Gendro gets one off the boards to Garrett Lindberg. Ends up drifting all the way down. Garvey is there. He tries to deke. Lindberg's going to poke check that one. It's in the corner. And that one, ooh, great move by Garvey getting it over the head of Garrett Lindberg. Wilmus will dump this one in. And now it's behind the net. Splitstozer getting chased by Garrett Lindberg. And here's Wyson who gets it across. Loose puck in the neutral zone. Great move by Carter Wilmus. And here's Derek Young. Young gets this one off the boards. It'll go behind the net. Now behind the net and over.
Blue Jackets have their first line out against the Flyers' third line.
In the corner now. Looking to get a pass through. He does. He finds Terrell. Terrell decides to take a shot on, but Isaac Collis will cover.
Yep, Terrell got just inside the blue line, whipped a shot on net, and Collis is able to cover up. Face off in the Flyers zone. Little Falls will maintain that forward line with it's at the third line. Young, Mason Othout, and Bo Majurley.
These face-offs are starting to become very
sure
meaningful.
Are. Blue Jackets have their second line out against the Flyers' third line.
This one's going to go behind the net. It's picked up by Drew Johnson. Back out at the point. And that one's going to go, what looked like off the stick of Majurley.
Yeah, nice block by Majurley.
Sorrow is moving in. Sorrow looking to move behind the net. Instead, he just takes a shot on. It's not going to go. Alcock is trying to take the puck away. He can't. Othout trying to move it through his own zone. Now it's taken back by Luke Avery. Ends up on the stick of Kyler Schmigdahl. left for Luke Avery. Avery on the left side gets one off the boards. That would have been a very good pass, but that's going to be icing.
That worked out just fine because the Flyers needed a line change. And had that stretch pass or clearing attempt not worked, which it didn't, that's just fine from Little Falls' perspective because they were trying to change lines. They weren't able to do so, and the icing call gives them the opportunity to get the Carter Oath out, Joey Walensky, Luke Avery line out, which is a switch from what we saw earlier in the game.
And
oh boy.
That's going to be a tripping.
That's going to be a tripping against Murad. It was a delayed tripping call. He didn't put his hand up right away, but eventually he did, and now Murad ushered to the penalty box at an inopportune time. 12:26 of the third period.
That is exactly what the Flyers did not need right now with the 1-0 lead.
Not the best case scenario for them. And with the minor to Murad, Blue Jacket power play, second of the afternoon. They're 0 for 2.
Here's an offensive zone faceoff now for the Blue Jackets. It splits Sozer at the point, tries to move it through. Now this one's going to be cleared down. It looks like a chance. Carter Olddown, can he gain control? No! Now he takes Franz Walensky. Oh my goodness!
What a great play by Carter Olddown. It almost worked.
And Walensky with it behind the net. Short-handed looking to dump it through. He can't. And the net, it looked like that the net came loose. Walensky almost just 2 opportunities. Oh my goodness.
Carter Oathout and Joey Walensky, a couple of angry Hornets on this penalty kill. Walensky got the last attempt with a wraparound. Seibel made the save, and then the net came off behind him. But Carter Oathout made such a great play with a delay there to get control of the puck and then slid it over to Walensky. That didn't work, and then Walensky had the wraparound, and so the Flyers on the penalty kill almost got their second of the game. They're looking for goal number 2 to put some space between themselves and the Blue Jackets.
Jamie, I just cannot believe those 2 opportunities for the Flyers.
2 great chances. Short a man.
And here's Sorrow, gets it across. It splits Dozer, gets it to Terrell. Terrell looks like he wants to take a shot. It ends up going high and back into the neutral zone.
Yeah, the Flyers will take that from an obscure angle. It misses the net and comes all the way back to the neutral zone.
On the left side, splits Dozer. Great defense by Remy Chisholm. At the point, it's Sorrow, gets a shot on. And it looked like that Chisholm was trying to stop the deflection there. A couple of really close calls for the Flyers. They need to get it cleared now. At the point, all alone. Now back for Terrell. Flyers glove save!
They work it down low to Terrell. He's lurking near the right faceoff dot. Wrist shot from there. Save made by Collis. There's 43 seconds remaining in the Blue Jackets power play. Jared Zebarth's in his 9th season as head coach. Blue Jackets exercise their 1-minute timeout. They want to keep that top power play on the ice for the remaining 43 seconds to see if they can get the equalizer. Shots are 38-27 in Cambridge's favor. 15-7 are the shots on goal for the Blue Jackets in the third period. Collis has been spot on, playing at the top, at his highest level, but boy, he's had a lot of pressure in this period.
Jamie, I just need to take the time to point out how the Blue Jackets are setting up multiple plays, looking for Seth Terrell to get a shot on net.
Now that's the guy you want to get the puck to when you have the power play. He's got 27 goals, 20 assists for 47 points. He's clearly top on the Blue Jackets point chart. He's got 5 power play markers. Josh Sorrow also has 5 power play goals for the Blue Jackets, but they use their 1-minute timeout. Maybe they'll try to run a set play off of this face-off if they can win the draw. Little Falls on the penalty kill will use Carter Oathout, Joey Walensky, Luke Avery, and Remington Chisholm. Earlier in the power play, Joey Walensky had a couple opportunities denied by Seibel.
And with 43 seconds remaining on the power play, these are some of your strongest clears.
Yeah, this is 4 good penalty killers for the Little Falls Flyers.
And here we go. One of the biggest face-offs of the game. It's going to be a win for the Flyers. Avery trying to maneuver his way through. Terrell putting on multiple amounts of pressure. At the point now. It's going to drift back into the neutral zone. And that's
critical fumble by Splitsdozer at the line.
Splitstozer might have that one in his dreams tonight.
Yep, that one got away from him.
And this one's going to drift still in the neutral zone. Here's Splitstozer moving through, in on the left side, trying to maneuver his way through, ends up, oh my goodness, that's nearly kept in by Josh Sorrow. And here comes Josh Sorrow moving in on the right side. Taken away now by Carter Othout.
5-on-5, full strength for the Flyers.
And now here's Splitstozer getting it through on the left side. 2:25 remaining. Aaron Murad now with the puck. Fresh out of the penalty box. Gets one up ahead. Ooh! A deafening hit on Ryan Othout. Are they going to call that offside?
Yep, offsides were the Little Falls Flyers, but Ryan Othout got bulldozed by Wyatt Garvey near the offensive blue line. There's 2:15 remaining in regulation. A slim 1-0 lead for Little Falls as Walensky scored late in the first period. We'll keep an eye on Jackson Seibel, the junior goaltender for the Blue Jackets. He eventually will be pulled for an extra attacker. Typically, when you're down a goal, it might be around 1.5 minutes remaining, but again, it depends on possession and where the puck is on the ice.
And now Garvey's going to try to move it all the way through the neutral zone, and Chisholm will stop the icing. This one's in the neutral zone once again. Here's Garrett Lindberg. Lindberg moving in the corner now, tries to leave it for Ryan Othout and ends up drifting into the neutral zone. Aaron Murad taking his time with the puck, trying to just use as much time as possible. And Murad behind his own net now, gets this one through and it's going to drift all the way down for what should be icing. And there is...
And I wouldn't be surprised if Seibel is now pulled for an extra attacker, as the Blue Jackets are going to have an offensive zone face-off. To the left of Isaac Collis, we keep an eye on the Blue Jacket bench, and here comes Seibel off. Blue Jackets will have 6 attackers. Offensive zone face-off, down a goal here in the third period.
This is where things are about to get insanely intense. Another huge face-off. Flyers take the win. Chisholm moves this one around. It's back out on the left side. A shot. It's not going to go. Collis trying to poke check this one away. Terrell barely missing that shot. And now on the right side, it's Garvey. Poke checked away. Walensky looking for a chance now. It's going to go all the way around. Any chance on net is big with the empty net. This one's all the way down for icing.
And not a bad play by Luke Avery. Even though he hadn't crossed the center red line, he was being pressured on the play, sent it down the length of the ice. They are called for icing, so it's another offensive zone faceoff for the Blue Jackets. A slim 1-goal lead for Little Falls. Blue Jackets net is empty. Here we go.
1:15 remaining, and here's Splitstozer across for Garvey. Garvey fires. It looked like that Collis couldn't find the puck for a moment. And here's Brown.
I was having trouble too.
Same here. And Splitstozer dekes a Luke Avery. Oh my goodness. And now in the corner, behind the net now. I'm struggling to keep my eyes on the puck right now.
Good job by Carter Othout to clear.
And here's Wyatt Garvey on the right side. Tries to move it through the neutral zone. He can't. Now he's moving in on the left side. Here comes Garvey. Tries to leave it for a man. He can't. And here's a loose puck. It's Ryan Othout. And it goes just wide right.
And he hadn't crossed the center red line. They're called for icing. Ryan Othout had that gaping open net. If he would have taken another stride or two, he would have been across the center red line. And if he would have missed, they wouldn't have been called for icing. But instead, now it's another offensive zone faceoff for the Blue Jackets to the right of Collis. 35.6 seconds remaining in regulation as there's a meeting at the faceoff dot. Both referees and the linesman. Wesley Wojtaszek is the rink manager here at the Exchange Arena. He's one of the 2 referees. We'll see if we can get in on this conversation. As they go over to the Blue Jacket bench, Jared Zebarth is the head coach of the Blue Jackets. As we got a big meeting over at the Blue Jacket bench. Wonder if they're maybe the clock, possibly. Maybe looking at adding some more time to the clock.
I really couldn't tell you what's happening right now.
Well, both referees went over to the Blue Jacket bench. The clock remains at Clock's at 35.6.
Now on the right side, looks like that was Colton Alcock. Actually, I believe that was Josh Sorrow. I apologize. Trapped on the boards now. Terrell Lowe wanted a centering pass. Your split stozer. It goes wide right. 20 seconds remaining. Garvey with the shot. Deflection. It goes wide left. And Sorrow couldn't keep control. It's in the neutral zone. 10 seconds remaining. And it looks like that could do it. Chisholm's going to try to clear it down. It's kept in. One more chance.
I thought it was icing. I didn't think that I thought Garvey was on the Blue Jackets side of the red line when they dumped it in.
Nonetheless, that should wrap it up. Because in offsides was called.
Yeah, prior to that, I didn't think that Garvey was on the Flyers side of the blue line. On the red line, excuse me.
And one more desperation shot, and that will wrap it up. Little Falls manages to hold on with a 1-0 lead and comes away with a win. And an unbelievable job by the netminder, Isaac Collis.
Yes, it was an unbelievable job by Isaac Collis. He was 38 of 38 and a winning effort for the Little Falls Flyers. Cybele was equally impressive for the Cambridge-Isanti Blue Jackets as he was 26 of 27, but the only goal of the game late in period 1, just 7 seconds remaining, a power play goal for Joey Walensky. Thank you. As we will momentarily have a chance to talk to the head coach of the Little Falls Flyers, Joey Hanowski. But 38 to 27, Blue Jackets had the shots on goal advantage. Little Falls wins for the 16th time this season. Cambridge drops to 10 and 14, and it's a hard-fought win for the Little Falls Flyers. They will conclude the regular season on Tuesday against the St. Cloud Cathedral Crusaders, and what should be an interesting matchup. Earlier this year, Little Falls lost to the Crusaders at the Mac in St. Cloud by a score of 7-1. The Crusaders are clearly one of the top 3 teams in the state of Minnesota, and I know Hanowski would love to shrink that gap, if not upset the Crusaders, of course, on Tuesday night. But a 1-0 win for Little Falls on home ice, and Coach Hanowski will make his way up here momentarily. Got exciting at the end there. The Blue Jackets pull the netminder, Cybele, for the extra attacker, and Collis was under siege most of the period, but when they needed him, he came up big.
Just countless opportunities for the Blue Jackets at the end, but Isaac Collis just managed to hold on.
Here's head coach Joey Hanowski. Mac, we'll give you the first question.
So Kylis and Cybele battled all game today, and how do you think Isaac Collis managed to hold on at the end?
He's really, really good. Oh, I don't think we can hear me.
How about now?
Can you guys hear me now? There we
Yep.
go.
Yep, there we go.
Yeah, I think those are 2 really good goalies. We saw it last year, and Callie, he's always a gamer, but he does get up for those games.
Boy, the pressure in the third period. Shots were 15-7 in the third period. It just seemed like one shot after another, and Collis was dialed in, as confident as ever.
Yeah, I thought we did a really good job defending, though. I mean, they didn't get a ton of second chances, and he's going to stop the first one. We just got to make sure we clear out rebounds.
Yeah, there were a number of opportunities for rebounds for the Blue Jackets, but your defenseman, I know there was an instance once where Schmidgall made a really nice play in front of the net. I think Murad also did the same, Carter Othout. But, yeah, there were opportunities there for rebounds, but defensively in front of Collis, you guys cleared the puck.
Yeah, I think we did a really good job today. I think we challenged them before the game today in our team meeting, like, what's your guys' identity, right? We say we want to be this hardworking, gritty team, physical, and hadn't seen it in a while. And today I thought we were a lot more physical, and it showed.
And that ends an extremely busy week for your guys' team. So what's your overall assessment of this week?
Yeah, I thought 2 good games, and then DL, we didn't play very good. So it was a good bounce back. I was proud of our kids the way they competed today, and we got a monster on Tuesday.
Well, I mentioned it in the pregame interview. I said we saw good on Tuesday with the win. It was bad on Thursday against Detroit Lakes in the loss, but we didn't get the ugly this afternoon, did we?
No, we battled, and I mean, to be honest, we could have been up 3-0 after the first. I thought we had some really good chances and came out swinging, and yeah, I thought we had some kids really have some jump today, and that's kind of why we made the switch in the third.
Carter Othout made a beautiful play on the Joey Walensky goal late in the first period, goes back behind the net, sees Walensky in perfect scoring position, delivers that pass, and like I said, after Walensky scored, I said once he gets the puck in that position, he knows what to do with it.
Yeah, I thought Joey, Carter, and Luke were our best forwards today, and they had some jump in their steps, and they challenged. Like, 11's an unbelievable hockey player. I think he's a complete player. I've been a big fan of him, and he showed again today. He took 2 penalties, and we scored on one of them. We knew when he took that penalty, I looked at Coach Newman like, we got to score here. This is a big chance for us.
You made the line change in the third period. You swapped the lines, the first and second lines. What was the thought process there?
Just thought those 3 were going. Not saying the other ones weren't. They just kind of had an extra jump, it felt like today. And to be honest, Gendro, Ryan Olfout, and Garrett Lindbergh looked really good in the third period too as a line. So our kids have, with me flopping lines a lot, they know how to play with each other.
Well, Hershey named you the mad scientist. You know, that nickname, I don't know if it's stuck or not from Thursday night, but as much as you like to change lines, any idea what we might see for line combinations on Tuesday? I don't know. You're not going to give up your hand on that.
No, especially if they're watching this film. Yeah, like I said, we're trying to figure out something that works. And, you know, when sometimes in a game you got to make an adjustment with 3 kids going like Walensky, Avery, and Carter Olthout. Got to throw them together and just see what happens.
Are there going to be any post-game birthday celebrations for Mrs. Hanowski?
That was a good one, Mac. Yeah, we're going to go and have a nice dinner. Yeah, she deserves everything she's gotten today and last night. Pretty blessed guy, and happy 25th birthday we'll put for my wife today. Happy 25th.
Okay. That's interesting.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. 25th birthday for your wife, and my guess is your son would love to blow out the birthday candles.
Yeah, it's going to be Erica's birthday tonight, but Trey will find a way to steal the show for sure.
Okay, I wore my stocking hat, my BSU hat, just for you. Tell us about your baseball career at Bemidji State.
Yeah, I played there for 4 years, and that's where I met my wife now. And yeah, it's a great spot. We joke, you know, Bemidji State's slogan is "Best decision ever," and it was for me. And yeah, I think it's crazy to say that. I think Bemidji State's already playing, like we said in the pregame, and Matt Phillippe's already got a hit, so I'm not surprised.
Yeah, it's February. They're playing baseball in February. I've never seen anything like this with the weather. Your driving conditions have been good this year.
Yeah, besides Thursday was a little dicey.
Thursday was no fun at all.
Yeah, it was a tough game and a tough way home. But, yeah, like I said, it's they're down in Missouri, though, playing, so I think it's a little warmer down there playing.
Mac, final question?
The final score being 1-0. Are you satisfied with that score as a coach?
Any win's a good win, Mac. So, yeah, we'll take this one. I just wanted to say shout out. I think she's still up there. My grandma and my aunt and uncle are up there today. It's always good when Grandma D's in the rink. So
I had a chance to visit with her on my way to the press box, and I said that you and Ben were going to be featured in the first intermission and the second intermission as we talked about the 2008-2009 state tournament team third place trophy.
Yeah, it was a special group, and yeah, she watched all those games right up there. It's kind of funny. I didn't even know she was coming today, and all of a sudden it caught my eye that she was up in her corner, and I looked at Coach Newman, and I said, well, we better play well because Grandma's here today, and it's my wife's birthday, so there's a lot on the line for me today.
Coach, congratulations. We look forward to Tuesday night.
Yeah, it'll be hopefully a little better effort from us, and thank you guys, Flyer Media, and shout out to my wife. Hopefully my kid's not sleeping right now because then he won't fall asleep
He
tonight.
needs to blow out the birthday candles.
Exactly. Everyone have a great night.
The head coach of the Little Falls Flyers in his third season, Joey Hanowski, always entertaining. Always entertaining. Joey Hanowski, the head coach of the Flyers. He's happy. They won.
Yep.
Tough, hard-fought 1-0 win. Great performance by Isaac Collis in the Flyer net with 38 saves. So let's take, there's a celebration horn here at the Exchange Arena. We didn't get to hear the horn but once this afternoon. That was the only goal of the afternoon at 16:53 on the power play. Joey Walensky's 16th goal of the season. Single assist, Carter Othout. Othout back behind the net. Walensky between the hash marks. Moved in, took the shot, beat Cybele. The game winner, the icebreaker, all at once. 16:53 of the first period on the power play. Only goal of the afternoon, and it was enough to propel the Little Falls Flyers to their 16th win of the season. Shots this afternoon favored Cambridge 38-27. Collis was 38 of 38 in the Flyer net. His 5th career shutout, 5th varsity shutout for Isaac Collis. Cybele in the Blue Jacket net. Fine effort. It's 26 of 27. Little Falls was 1 for 3 on the power play. Blue Jackets 0 for 3 with the man advantage. Again, the Flyers, their 16th win of the year, 8 losses. Cambridge, 10 wins, 14 losses. Cambridge concludes the regular season Tuesday at home against Osseo. And here come the St. Cloud Cathedral Crusaders on Tuesday night, one of the top 3 teams in the state of Minnesota, in my estimation. And they took it to the Flyers 7-1 in January. I don't expect the margin to be that great on Tuesday night.
I'm gonna have to agree with you here. I'd be expecting a big crowd if I were the Little Falls
I would
Flyers.
hope so. I would hope that we can pack the Exchange Arena and have a good viewing audience on Flyer Media Productions. We got to thank the parents again for providing the meal prior to the game. They had one big picnic table, a large picnic table full of food for us before we went on the air this afternoon. So thank you to the parents that provided the food this afternoon. Mac, you did a great job. The rest of our Flyer Media Productions crew running the cameras, behind the scenes, Mark Deal, Karen Warner, A+ for effort from their perspective. They do a great job. We had fun.
Absolutely, Jamie. Well, thank you everyone for watching. This has been Flyer Media Productions, and have a great night.